All right, today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp, Chime, AG1, and Helix. Okay, welcome to the Nateland podcast. My name's Dusty Slay, and I'm here with these wonderful comedians, Brian Bates, Aaron Weber, and Greg Warren.
Hey, guys.
Special guest today, Greg Warren.
Proud to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Yeah. I am. Love it here, man.
Yeah.
I know you don't like folks, but you got to say hello,
Oh,
folks.
yeah.
And hey,
Hello,
bear.
folks, and hey, bear.
He emphasizes it a different way. But
I thought you nailed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I like to really try to pronounce it. There's a running theme I read in the comments that people say I end every word with the letter T. And I don't notice it, but
I don't agree with
Do
that.
you think about it now? That.
but I do think about it sometimes, but especially when a word does end with a T and I go, oh, I really heard it there. But
they say you say it especially on words that end with D.
okay, I think what they're hearing is me fully pronouncing the letter D. I'm really sounding.
What
it
about Alberstadt?
Oh, yeah.
Keith Alberstadt.
Yeah.
He's got a D and a T right there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I say two T's right at the end.
Yeah. You sound like Porky Pig. When you're saying.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I have, I don't like the word folks as much. I don't like calling people folks. I don't mind it. People, I don't mind hello folks, but I feel like folks is a bit of a weird word.
Yeah, man. But it's kind of trademark here, right? You got to do it.
But I call them podcast people.
Podcast people. And that sounds pejorative. Yeah. I would say
it's a little more clinical. It feels like.
Folks,
yeah.
Folks, you do sound like a politician trying to be blue collar.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Folksy.
Listen,
come
folks.
on, folks.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it's how people that don't know how to talk to people try to talk to people.
Oh yeah. They got consultant was like, listen, you're real stiff, and you went to an Ivy League college, and
right.
These morons are not going to respond to that. So you need to dumb it down.
How do I get them on my side? What do I say?
Well, just say things that call them folks or something like that.
It's like
speak slow.
It's like in 2020 when Joe Biden had the No Malarkey tour. It felt like he had a young person trying to make him sound old.
The No Malarkey tour?
Yeah, I think that was all him. I mean, I think and to be honest, I don't care for malarkey. I don't. And I'm the oldest guy here, and I don't care for it.
I don't like the word or actual malarkey.
No.
Yeah. I don't care for either of those.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be
Titans
messy.
used to have a coach, Mike Malarkey.
They did not have a guy. No way.
Look him up.
What was his name? It was not Mike Malarkey.
It was.
That's malarkey.
Yeah.
Wasn't me.
There he is, right there.
Mike Malarkey. How about that?
He's
That
fired.
is-
He's fired though now though.
Yeah, they've hired Bill Shenanigans. Stephen Horseplay.
Horseplay.
He's Native American.
This podcast is hot.
Yeah,
already.
we're off
It's
to the races.
Real hot. Yeah.
I've had a lot of coffee today, and I feel
can tell.
jacked up.
You are jacked.
I
I
like
had
that
some
shirt.
tea.
Yeah, thank you.
I went 2 teas, which I don't normally kind of like the way you say Albert says.
Yeah.
I had two
Two
teas.
T's. How I end every sentence.
Yeah, I had a Emperor's Cloud, and
But I just pronounced the T in sentence.
You put a T at the end.
I don't think I said sentenced.
Like you did.
no, that would be
Rewind the tape, guys.
Yeah.
in the past tense. Yeah, no, I thought you said it great.
Yeah, thank you.
Sentenced.
Yeah, I thought you hit that middle T pretty hard. But
I like
it.
to, I like to sound out the T's, and I
Yeah.
think that's not what people are used to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People are used to a lot of silent T's.
I've never noticed that thing, but what I have noticed, and I pointed it out, I'm surprised nobody else has picked up on it. My favorite, Dusty, is when you say a city, you say it as if you've already said a different city in the same state, and you're trying to differentiate the city. So, for instance, I would go, I'm going to Columbus, Ohio. And you would go, I'm going to Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
You always say that. That's the way you say every city.
Yeah.
like
from Opelika, Alabama.
Okay.
And then I go up to Nashville, Tennessee.
like right before somebody said, so Dayton?
And you go,
No.
Columbus, Ohio. That's
Okay.
But Toledo?
Well, I'll be paying attention because we're going to be saying some cities soon. So
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
I'll
I can't wait.
I'll be paying
You start
attention.
plugging the No Malarkey tour. You're going to
Yeah.
be naming a lot of cities on there.
I should do the all malarkey tour.
It's just only Malarkey.
Yeah.
Just nothing but malarkey. Yeah, then you get some complaints like this show is malarkey. Well, ma'am, you didn't read the description.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's all malarkey.
this is what we're going
If anything, your complaint should be that there was some non-malarkey in it.
Even the intro when they bring you up, man.
Yeah.
They're like
They're fumbling it.
yeah, they got a slide whistle
Yeah.
going.
I'd love to go on that tour.
You got a little
Yeah,
got
yeah.
propeller hat on.
Yeah.
It's just all malarkey.
Monkeys running around. This sounds like a good tour. to
It
be
does.
honest with you.
It does.
You know what? I'd like to be part of that if you get
Yeah.
that off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little circus piano out there. Whatever that's do.
You're just trying to juggle and you can't do it.
It is. Just malarkey.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I never could
It
juggle.
is.
That's why it's malarkey.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that rules.
Greg was telling me about how other comics this weekend were talking about how they're getting show produced by this big comic or that big comic and blah, blah, blah. And then he made a joke to the other comics. Well, my special is being produced by Brian Bates. And I'm like, well, Greg, are y'all just, am I the running joke even behind the scenes?
It was, I mean, it was Steven. Somebody said they're
Like, I
getting.
didn't think it was as funny as these guys
It
did.
was-
Listen, man. All right. First of all,
It was
killed.
so funny.
It did
Yeah,
kill.
yeah, it kills every time.
Somebody said they were getting their special produced by a couple heavy. It was like Nate and Brian Regan,
Yeah.
Seinfeld or something, and it was going around the room, and people were. And I was trying to think. One, I was trying to think of a name that everybody in the room knew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was some New York guys, and I had this other friend there. So I said his name, and I said, well, actually, Bates is producing my special, and it killed. It killed. Okay. And then I saw you, and I felt the need to confess it to you because I was taking a shot. I wasn't taking a shot at you, man.
It kind of felt like
But
it.
I knew the room.
Mhm.
Okay. And I was like, what's the right?
You knew your audience.
What's the right name of
It
a
was
guy that's,
perfect,
let's say,
too.
that's not Seinfeld? Okay. And that,
Who's the opposite of Seinfeld?
I'm not saying the opposite. I'm
Those
just
jokes
saying,
are the hardest, because
Yeah.
you're like, I know I shouldn't say it,
Yeah.
but it will get
Yeah.
over.
yeah.
Respect the
Yeah.
kill, dude.
And
Yeah.
you know what? And that's why I told you, because afterwards I was like, man, I kind of threw Bates under the bus there.
Mhm. So you get ahead of it and let me know.
Yeah, I mean, it was going to get around. It was because it was that good of a joke.
Heard you're
Like,
producing Greg Warren's special.
I mean, there was some bragging going on, and I was like, what name? I go, yeah, Bates is producing this special. He's coming in all the way on this deal. Yeah.
Well, I love it. I'm the punchline even when I'm not there.
No, yeah,
No,
I mean,
no.
yeah. Just,
The way you got to win it, though, is you got to start producing specials
Mhm.
and be very good at it.
that would be,
Yeah.
man, that would be getting back at me. And then,
Yeah.
and you'd be, and you know what, Greg? Now I'm not producing.
And then
your
you
special.
wouldn't, and then
Yeah.
not produce his.
Or any of those
Mhm.
guys in there that laughed at me.
Yeah.
That's how you're gonna show.
We were talking about some comics before the show. I'm going to start producing theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, one of them.
Good luck.
I don't know any of these people, but I there's a lot of opinions on them, and
It got a little heated, and it was,
I'm just defending.
Yeah.
Just defending my people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but it was fun. It was a good
We were
time.
trying to get Greg to talk a little trash on the road because he's the nicest guy of all. We kept calling him Saint Greg.
No.
He just
Well,
Apparently
refused to.
not.
Well, Bates.
Yeah, with Bates,
is,
yeah, that's a
Bates
given.
is fair game. That's the free space on the bingo board.
I am not a saint, and I've done a lot of things in the world that I'm not proud of.
Uh-huh.
I did, in that particular instance, I,
Yeah.
I didn't want to throw anybody under the bus.
I get it. I get it. I get
Yeah, I didn't. I could, and it.
it. I respect that.
And later on, I think, the second half of the tour that you weren't on, I did think of a person or two that I didn't care for their act, and I shared it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna say it all.
Just doesn't want to be put on the spot.
Yeah,
I get it.
I had to do some real soul searching.
Yeah.
Would we know them?
Sure.
You can find it. I mean, there's a lot of comics that I don't care for their act.
Uh-huh.
It's harder for me to find ones that I don't like,
Yeah,
but their acts,
yeah,
lots of them.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
most comics, and I can tell you what. We can go back not that long ago, and I can show you some sets in mine, and I'll be like, I do not care for that guy's
Oh,
act at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah, I can look at some real old sets of mine and I'm like, what? How did this even pan out?
yeah.
Who saw anything in this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see some of the laziness in the writing too. It's like, this was not a terrible idea. And you went with the third the third dumb idea. If you'd have just sat down for another
This is my
45
set or
minutes.
yours?
No, mine.
Okay.
I wouldn't say
No, I know.
This is Bates.
He's still talking about me.
I never once said anything negative about your comment.
This is his dry bar that
I
he's
just,
talking about.
I just said as a producer, I juxtaposed you with Jerry Seinfeld,
Yeah.
Nate, and Brian.
It was the
Regan.
contrast that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I gotta be
Exactly.
I just want to be. It did kill.
Oh man, one of the bigger laughs of the weekend.
Who was in the room? I need names.
I mean, heavy hitters. Guys
All
like-
people that you
yeah,
respect.
Yeah, people, your friends mostly.
Stephen Rogers wasn't there, was he?
Stephen
Oh,
was
man.
there.
Oh,
yeah, maybe laughed the loudest.
He's got a good
It's a
laugh.
shocker.
Yes, yeah, he does. He's a good laugher.
Yeah.
Stephen Rogers was there. Hey man, I took some hits this weekend too. I did.
You did?
Nate said that I started doing comedy with Jeff Dunham's old man puppet, Walter. They were talking about the puppet, and Nate said, "No, Greg and him started together." And then it got big laughs.
That's funny.
That's a good joke.
It
Yeah,
was.
it is.
Yeah. You think that didn't hurt a little bit, Nate? So I had it coming.
Yeah. Where were you at, Dusty?
I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. I was just right outside.
I love how Greg said just the city. Yeah,
No, I
man.
mean,
I've heard of
They
it.
used to have a club. I think they might still, but it was never like, it was a club that didn't pay any money. But I remember going through doing a guest set there and just loving the crowd and everything. But there's not, would you work a
Well,
theater?
this club is outside of Albuquerque in a casino called the Star Ana. I don't know the casino. I don't know what it's called, but Santa Ana Star Casino. That's it.
Okay.
It's called Quesadas. And it is the guy who is in Breaking Bad. He's the partner.
Yeah, man.
He's the partner of the main cop.
Mhm.
Gomez.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's his casino?
It's his club
Or
in
his
the casino.
Club.
His name's on it at least.
Yeah, Quesada. Yeah, I think he's
Wow.
a big part of it.
So it's a club?
Yeah, it's a club.
I'm talking
And
to
it
my
was
agent.
really great. I had a really great time, but I do want to show Aaron has the I just went to the website to see what time the show was, and they pulled up my name, and this was the bio they used for me. It says Dusty Slay is an American comedian. He was the youngest comedian. He was the youngest comedian to have ever performed at the Grand Ole Opry, having since been dethroned by fellow comedian Aaron Weber. That's the bio that they put for me.
That's all the information you need about the show.
So you're like,
Is that you going on his Wikipedia page and changing it? 'Cause
I
that's
think
what
so.
It feels a lot
I
like.
think that is my Wikipedia bio.
Yeah.
Well, it was so funny. This is a club I have no relationship with. I've never been there. I've never even been to Albuquerque. I don't know why they shoehorned me into your bio, but I appreciate it.
Now, what they said was they got a new website, and the guy that designed it just put this in as a placeholder and then forgot to change it.
Right.
But it's so funny to read that as my bio. And imagine you're in Albuquerque and you're like, I'd like to see some comedy tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, Dusty Slay, I've never heard of him. What's he all about?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an American comedian.
He's American. That's good.
All right.
and
I'm in.
he's the youngest to perform at the Opry,
Well, now this is interesting.
but not anymore.
Yeah.
He's been dethroned by another comic we don't know.
Well, when's this Weber guy coming? I'll just wait for that.
Yeah.
I'll wait for this Weber guy.
This
'cause-
young buck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this he's over the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
This old has been.
Yeah,
No, I'm not
yeah.
good. My bio is going to be youngest performer at the Opry after eclipsing fellow comedian Dusty Slay.
Yeah.
That'll be my bio.
But
Wasn't even close, really. 10
but the
years.
shows were great, and I had a lot of fun. They treated me well. They gave me a nice steak dinner at the restaurant at
Yeah.
the casino,
How
and
about that?
yeah, it was very nice. I had a great time. Hot shows.
Mhm.
Hot shows.
Yeah, man. I told you did my hometown a while ago, and a lot of buzz in St. Louis about your show.
That show was great.
Yeah, at the factory.
At the factory.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
show was awesome.
Yeah, I heard a lot of really good things.
Yeah, the factory was so great. It was such a cool venue.
It is. It's nice. Yeah, it's
and it's also like not downtown, so I could just like park out in the parking lot.
Yeah, as long as we're talking about that, I need to say this because it's definitely not downtown.
Yeah.
Okay, it's out in the suburbs where most people in St. Louis live.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did St. Louis with Aaron and Nate and Steven and Dustin, and we stayed downtown at the Four Seasons, which is a great hotel. We played the Fox, which is a beautiful theater. Nate sold out 5 shows at the Fox. It's never been done before. The route that you take from the Fox to the Four Seasons is some of the worst areas in St. Louis.
Wow.
It's not nice. Okay. It's not a nice neighborhood. It's a dangerous neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all these idiots saw of St. Louis
The whole weekend.
The whole weekend. That's the only thing they saw
Yeah.
of my hometown. And they didn't have a lot of nice things to say about my town.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. And then, and the whole time they were just bagging on. I'm like, guys, could we just, I swear, if we just get on the freeway, if we just go 3 blocks from no, we're going to go. And like,
Chesterfield is very nice.
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Man, it's beautiful, but not these guys will never say one positive thing about St. Louis.
Will O'Donnell lives in St. Charles, I think,
Yeah,
right around
yeah.
that area.
Mhm.
He talks about how great it is.
It is. It's
Yeah.
He said there's a street that kind of separates the good and the bad. Is that true?
From where we were,
Mhm.
or
Well, I think Will told me like there's a St. Louis is kind of sectioned off. Good and
he's
bad.
talking. I think he's talking about where he lives is the other side of the Missouri River.
He said Kirkwood's really bad.
No, you're just taking shots, man. Kirkwood is the nice. Kirkwood's like Mayberry. It's so nice.
I don't know St. Louis.
It's real nice. Kirkwood's where I live, by the way.
My
Kirkwood's
friend,
where it's you guys wouldn't be able to keep. You'd have to just say this is great. I can't do the joke anymore.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
my friend was moving across the country, and he was moving with his whole family, and he had his car loaded down with like everything they owned. And his wife, they were passing through St. Louis, and his wife wanted to check out the arch.
Ah, boy.
So they pulled into the arch, got out, went into the arch, went up, came back down, out to their car, everything gone.
Yes.
They could see it.
You can.
That's my car.
Man, that looks a whole lot like my mattress. That guy. Yeah, it was bad, man. I mean, and there's no convincing them now.
Yeah.
They're just, and then just like we would drive. These are tough neighborhoods, and Nate would be like, "I'm going to get out here and get something." I'm like, "No,
That was the running joke.
do not
Well,
get
Nate-
out."
I need to use the bathroom. You pull over here real quick.
No.
Greg was like,
No.
keep going, keep
Don't-
going.
Don't do that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I was at the Grand Ole Opry last night.
Mm.
That's cool.
Set a record, the oldest comedian, surpassing Grandpa Jones. So that's on my bio now.
Is that a hee-haw guy?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Grandpa Jones?
No.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a hee-haw guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Funny. He's funny.
Yeah, you can
from
pull
what
him
I
up.
know.
To,
I met Gary Muledeer at the airport the other day.
Oh, he's funny, man.
He's in his 80s.
yeah,
He's still funny though.
Yeah,
Mule
yeah,
Deer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Grandpa Jones. Yeah. No, Bates. Yeah, I could see where you guys.
That's your grandpa.
last night in the comedian's dressing room, Gary Muledeer and Henry Cho just recently became members of the Opry.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the pictures are up now, but Gary Muledeer's was upside down.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that just a running joke?
I didn't want to turn it back. I don't
Probably.
know if it was done. Like Henry did it as a joke.
Yeah.
So I just left it as is. But
All
yeah.
right. Anyway, I was at the Opry last night, and it's great. It's such an honor to get to do it.
It's
That's
awesome.
pretty awesome.
It's
man.
very cool.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome.
How'd the shows go?
It was. I mean, it was great. It was
Yeah.
great. T. Graham Brown was on right after me. Daryl Worley. Some guy afterwards said Daryl Worley's a fan, and I'm like,
Wow.
well, I don't know if that's true, but I
That's
hope
pretty good.
I hope it's. I hope
You
it's
didn't
true.
talk to him?
No, I mean,
You don't bounce around and try to talk to other people in there?
I walk around a little bit, but
If ever there's someone there that I like, I try to get in there. I try to talk to
Just
them.
tell him.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm on the show as well.
Yeah,
Grandpa
always have-
Jones.
yeah. I try
they
to
always
get
have
in
an
there.
entourage, and I always feel weird. Just they're all talking, or
Yeah.
doing stuff. So
I did on Thursday. I followed this guy, Alex Miller, making his Opry debut. He's a young guy, old school sounding country.
Mhm.
Dusty, you would like him.
Yeah.
And he killed. He was
Mhm.
doing great. And then between songs, he goes, I want to dedicate this next song to my grandfather. You know, my grandfather got me in the country. My grandfather used to come to every show, and he would keep a log of every show I ever went to. And then tonight, even though my grandpa's not here to watch me, when I get backstage, I'm going to write down the Grand Ole Opry. And this, people are crying. He gets standing out. I'm up next.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
No.
it was such an emotional, strong moment. I had to address it, which I've never had to be like, all right, keep it going one more time. Tough to follow that, huh? Anyway, I went to McDonald's. You know what I mean? It was such a pivot from but you never know who you're going to have to follow at these shows, right? It can be somebody legendary or like a heartwarming moment. You never know.
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to blank on her name right now. The singer that went right before me was just incredible.
Yeah.
And I think last time you were here, I told the story about doing the Opry, and I tell that joke about giving the fake testimonial and all that stuff. And then the guy that went up after me gave a real testimonial, how he overcome drugs and all that stuff. Same thing happened last night.
They were like, this is a comic too. Back-to-back comics.
I walk off
This
stage.
guy's good.
T. Graham Brown's next. He goes, I really did overcome drug addiction in the 90s, and I'm about to go give my testimonial. And sure enough, he did.
Wow.
Yeah. You think you'd learn.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would.
Yeah, especially at the Opry. I mean, I bet there's a lot of testimonials.
Yeah.
I think at least
Yeah.
60, 70% of them there.
I like to follow a serious thing. I followed Neil McCoy at the Opry,
Yeah.
and that's the worst I've ever done because Neil McCoy is like funny.
Yeah.
He's running up and down the aisles of the
Right.
Opry. He's
running
very
up and
he's very energetic. The audience is loving it. And then I go out and I'm like, hey, this is my job to be funny. And it just seemed less good up next to what Neil McCoy was doing as an entertainer.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When they're like, well, that guy wasn't even trying to be funny.
Yeah,
He's not even
yeah,
supposed
exactly.
to be funny. He's not supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
It's just in his bones.
Yeah.
This guy, he's
guy's
got to
trying.
try.
He's
I
trying
know.
so hard.
And I didn't bomb, but it was the worst I've ever done there.
yeah.
That's pretty cool though that you do that show. I mean,
It's awesome, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Aaron did it the night before me, I think, or a couple nights before.
I think my dad would come see me if I did the Opry. I think he mentioned that,
You should do the Opry.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's
think-
make that happen.
We will make it happen.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna try to make it happen.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen.
We'll do it.
Is Junior Sample done the Opry?
I think he's dead. He's another hee haw guy,
Yeah,
but I think he's been dead for about 40 years. But I bet
40.
Lost touch, huh?
I mean,
I might know a guy over there. He could probably get me in.
are you about the guy from Hee Haw?
Yeah, I opened for Minnie
He
Pearl
was
back in the
younger than
day. Yeah.
Junior, Grandpa Jones.
Well, I didn't think Grandpa Jones had been around recently, but
Okay,
I think Junior Sample is on the wall there in the comedian's
but
dressing
he
room.
did
Greg's
get he
like,
did get on stage.
I might email little Jimmy Dick and see if he can get me in. See if he can put a word in for
Roy
me.
Acuff.
Yeah, Roy. Well, I was in Syracuse, New York, and it was so funny. The whiplash of going from a weekend with Nate to like back on my own in the real world, from like everything's perfect to like just about everything went wrong
Mhm.
travel wise.
Mhm.
Flights delayed, can't get a rental car, can't get into the hotel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lock my hotel key out of the room once I get it. You know, it's pouring down rain. I don't have a ride to the club. It was like everything compiling.
It's a tough club to draw into.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that club, but
Yeah.
it is tough to.
I did 2 shows. They filled them up.
Yeah,
You know, it wasn't me, but they were
Yeah.
filled up.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the shows were good.
yeah.
So it's like once we got there, the shows were good, but it was just the whole day was like just to go from being on the road with Nate to back to the real world. It was kind of funny. You're like, oh
Mhm.
man, what else can go wrong? And then everything,
Do
you know.
Do you
Yeah.
think like because you said they filled them up and it
Mhm.
wasn't me,
Mhm.
so you're saying they gave away tickets?
Oh, 100%.
You ever feel that like if you bring an opener and the place is full, he's like, "You're killing it here," and you know, I'm like, these are not my tickets. What obligation morally do you think that you have to tell that opener that you did not sell those tickets. Because I've been on both sides. A couple of times they were like, "Man, you are killing it in this market." I was like, "Yeah."
If you work real hard, you can do this too. You know,
Circus guys at Grand Ole Opry.
Syracuse is one of my major markets. That's where I come to eat. You know what I mean? The host was a nice guy, funny guy. He's younger. He came in. He's like, "Yo, dude, I think both shows are like sold out." And I was like, "Yeah, they'll be full. They're definitely not sold out though, buddy." But man, good crowds.
I used to make the joke. I was going there like every year, and I would always make this joke. I was like, I keep coming here every year, and the audience keeps getting smaller. I'm just whittling it down, just trying to find my real fans here. You know, I like that club. I do like going. I like the people that work there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do not draw very well.
Just next time you're there, you'll just get a table at Margaritaville in the mall and just talk to the people, the 5 or 6 people that are still there.
Yeah, and Margaritaville's like always closed over there. I'm like, who is this for? Mm-hmm. If you're not open at night, I mean, what
that's not a good sign.
People drinking in the daytime at the Margaritaville Mall?
Probably.
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I'm at the hotel. I walk down to the lobby, and there's like, the little kiosk where there's snacks and stuff. This is an Aloft hotel. There's a lot of stuff.
I like that hotel.
Good snacks.
Good snacks.
It's a good hotel.
And there's like muffins, and there's like real food in there.
Yeah.
And the guy working the counter, he's chatting it up with 2 girls. This is like midnight. He's a dude. He's just trying to talk to these 2 girls. So I go over, I grab some stuff, and I like motion for him to check me out. And he just goes, "You're good, bro." And I was like, "Yep." So I go upstairs, I eat it all, and I'm like, he's probably still down there, right? So I'm like, how far can I take this, dude? So I went back. Went back down with the intention to pay, right? And
No, you didn't.
Yes, well,
you just said, "How far can I take?"
I'm saying I will.
With the intention to pay. I was just like, well, maybe I can pay for something here.
I'm saying I will pay if I need to, right? So those girls are still there. So I go and I grab a little more stuff than I did last time, and this is like specialty items. Like I got like a Reese's ice cream thing.
Yeah,
like these are legit. This is probably $20 worth of stuff. And I walk over and I have it, and he looks at me and he goes, "All right, you're good, man."
No,
I was like, I'll go. Yeah, dude, I was in the elevator, like, dude, let's go.
You're like, one more time.
The hotel is in chapter 11 now. I mean,
yeah. It was not good, but I did not go back a third time.
And you were that guy's conversation with those girls.
Yeah.
He was now using you. He was like, this guy.
Hey, whatever I can do to help him out.
He's like, there's a lot of losers.
And here's the thing. I want to point out a couple of things about this story. Number one, can you imagine the free stuff that those girls got? If you're getting that,
oh my gosh,
they got rooms. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, they're like, after you, they're like, you got a room here? Or?
Yeah, sure. I don't. Yeah,
who cares?
2, I love that you think muffins are real food.
I know.
You're like, muffins, man, real food. We're talking like square meals.
I noticed that too.
Well, I meant
muffin. I mean,
versus a Milky Way bar. That's real food.
I just want to be.
Yeah.
There is not a lot of difference in nutrition from a Milky Way bar to a muffin. Okay?
You tell me there's no difference in substance though between a candy bar and a muffin?
I think a baked good is often as bad as a candy bar.
But you understand when I'm trying to differentiate this from
there's some more
a
preparation.
vending machine.
There's some more preparation. There's probably the shelf life on the muffin is less than that.
Right,
That
it feels better to eat bread than whatever chemical makes
I'm
up.
saying
a Milky
you walk
Way.
up.
You don't think there's any chemicals in that muffin?
For sure there
ate.
is. For sure.
But there was a cake tray with like muffins in it, so I was like, "Oh, there's real stuff."
Wait a minute. You're talking in a muffin tray, like fresh baked?
No,
muffins?
like a glass, like raised platform with a little lid on it,
and no plastic over the muffin.
I'm trying to remember.
Was it in its own?
If it's in the cake tray, if it's in the cake tray,
I got into it pretty quick, so I'm trying to remember.
He might have ate the plastic.
Oh, did I eat that plastic?
I don't know.
Did you make it back to the room before you went back for seconds?
Yeah, I went up there and I sat and I thought about it for a few minutes. And I go, like, I don't want to catch him before he leaves, like his shift ends, right? So it's like 2 a.m. And I'm like,
I've been trying to write about that.
Mhm.
I'm not, and you got a Holiday Inn hat on, by the way, which is amazing. That's really cool.
I love it.
But they just don't staff a hotel.
No.
I mean, it's the whole point of this thing. There's a lot of people there, and they put one 19-year-old in charge. It probably cost them $6 million to build this hotel.
Right.
There's 300 people staying in there, and there's one 19-year-old who's running the whole deal. And it's what you tell me is the point that I've been trying to make is like, that kid's 19. If he gets a call from his friend and says, hey, man, I met these 2 girls and they have some beers, he'll quit right there in the middle of that shift. They'll be the shift's over.
Yeah.
Now nobody's there. And if you walk in off the road and you just walk in and there's nobody at the front desk, it's very upsetting.
You ring the bell.
Yeah.
Nobody comes out.
There's still nobody there. It's like, well, there's a horrible thing happened.
Rental car companies are like that. There's one guy manning 8 different companies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm running Enterprise, Alamo, and National today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go to the counter, you're like, oh no, they go, I can help you here. I go, I'm with Enterprise.
Yeah, I got that too.
We all work together.
It's all over here, buddy.
Yeah.
You're being lied to. It's all one company.
Yeah. I'm flying Southwest. That's me too. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Can I check my bag with you too? Yeah, I'd do it all.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Guys, I want to tell you a little bit about BetterHelp.
Oh, God.
Do you mind?
Oh, no. You know what? I had a friend told me he listens to this podcast, used BetterHelp,
Wow.
and really liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why it's shocking.
It's shocking.
Well, I'm just saying that because people point out how you and Nate always say it in a way like, but seriously, I really do, like this product sometimes.
I think therapy's a good idea.
You do?
Yeah.
Thank you,
I've
Greg.
got-
Trying
gone
to
to
save
some
the ad read here.
Yeah.
Gone to some therapy. I am. But I
I know you're doing it.
They're
You're
like, you
doing
need
it.
better help pitching this ad.
But they'll say, you'll read the ad and then you'll say, but you know what? I really do like so-and-so.
Oh,
okay.
You say it in a way like, I know I just joked about all that stuff, but there's some like Viore shorts.
I'm wearing them right now.
Yep. Not
I've
even
worn
sponsored
these
today.
same shorts the last 4 podcasts.
I haven't heard of these shorts.
Well, that's not even a sponsor. Let me tell you about BetterHelp.
Okay. All right.
Greg, do you ever compare yourself to others?
Unfavorably.
Yeah. Sometimes I do too. I see me. This is a joke that Abby wrote. Sometimes I do too. I see me comparing myself to swimmers. Okay. Because I revealed last week that I'm taking swimming lessons.
Are you?
Yeah. Because I didn't know how to swim.
You don't know how to swim?
Yeah.
Let's get through the ad.
Yeah. I look at how easy it is for them while I am just learning. I kind of was glad that you weren't here last week when I broke this news. Did you know comparison is the thief of joy?
I've heard that.
It's so easy to envy other people's lives, especially nowadays with Instagram. But in reality, their life isn't only Instagram. Oh, now it's the host ad lib part. So did you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean,
I gotta say, this is the worst ad read
No,
maybe in the history of
but
the podcast.
my friend told me, I asked did he listen to the podcast, and he said, yeah, I do listen. He said, matter of fact, my wife used BetterHelp for therapy when her dad passed. She had some stuff with it, and she needed some help, and she went to BetterHelp, got some help, and really liked it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I just want to jump in. I think because
I got a little bit more to read.
well, I'm just trying to save some of what you did read.
All right.
Because I think the point they were making was, if you're just scrolling through Instagram all the time, you're going to be like, everybody else is doing better.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be a good idea to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah.
I think you're right on. Right on, Greg.
I'm just reiterating.
There's a lot of filters, a lot of,
Mhm.
people just writing how great their life is, and maybe it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're thinking of starting,
And really any social media platform.
It doesn't have to be Instagram.
Not
Right.
just
It could be
Instagram. You're right,
Twitter,
Facebook, I'm
LinkedIn.
doing much better.
Let's not
Everybody
make
on Facebook.
Instagram call BetterHelp.
That's right.
You know what I
That's
mean? It's
right.
not Instagram.
Sure.
There are other people to blame.
Mhm.
Zynga, LinkedIn,
LinkedIn
Zynga.
may be the worst.
MySpace.
I don't even know what Zynga is. Now I feel bad because
Zynga,
I don't have
You
an
stack
account.
these blocks. and
Friendster.
it gets pretty.
TikTok, Rumble, Truth Social.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Nate today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Nate.
All right, we did it.
Yeah, I thought that last part was real good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
People really like the ad reads because they're fun. And when I'm listening to a podcast and they start an ad, I just go skip.
Yeah.
But with this one, you never know what we're going to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
you go
it's
skip, and we're still doing it. And you go, yeah, let's skip.
I want to say, I mean, I'm a guest and I got no dog in the fight, and it's not my place to tell you guys how to run your thing, but you can't say in the middle of an ad read that you can't swim and then expect everybody to just forget about that
is
and
true.
listen to the rest of the ad, man. I mean, that's
Well, I didn't write that copy, but
especially when we have an ongoing thing about how good of a swimmer I am.
Right.
yeah. It's just, I mean, everybody's trying to hear better help, and they think Bates can't swim, Bates can't swim, Bates can't swim.
well, no, they actually watch and listen to the podcast, so they know it.
Okay.
But I can't.
Maybe you could do some research before you come on next time.
Fair enough.
That was directed at Dusty, who's one of the hosts.
Yeah.
I probably need to watch more full episodes. I see the clips.
Yeah.
I enjoy them.
Clips are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really well put together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Clips are really where it's at for a podcast.
That's right.
I don't think
We're
you're
breaking
supposed to say
everything
that on the
down.
podcast. Again, I'm not the one that's trying to tell you guys how to do things.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to say that.
Yeah. Should we get into these comments? What do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, is there anything you wanted to say about swimming? Just
Well, I just, I'm a good swimmer, and
well, we've covered that.
and we've talked a lot about it. They've
Mhm.
ridiculed me, and yet Brian kept quiet the whole time about how he couldn't swim.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty impressive that you held that in.
You know what? Me too.
Well, I
For
was
the
embarrassed
record,
about
though, since Bates had always said he would be able to blend in well with a soccer team,
it. Mhm.
I can play soccer. I just want you guys to know
Yeah,
that.
I think you could play soccer.
Yeah.
We ridiculed him because he thinks he could blend in with professional swimmers.
Yeah. And they always go right to Michael Phelps. I'm not saying I can beat
Right,
Michael Phelps,
Right.
but who's watching professional swimming? I think I could get out there and you go, oh, that guy, yeah, he doesn't seem as in shape as the other guys, but yeah, I believe he's.
So your
professional.
argument for why you could blend in is that
Nobody
nobody's
was watching.
watching.
Well,
yeah, I could blend in
Well,
on
that was the argument from the beginning was what professional sport
You
do
could-
you think you could blend in
Right.
best with?
Yeah.
Right.
assuming
Brian-
someone's looking at them though. You
Yeah.
can't go, nobody
Well,
watches it
You're,
anyway.
you're
The
adding the,
WNBA.
Yeah.
you're adding the assuming thing.
I mean, are you swimming?
Yeah.
That's the blending is occurring while you're swimming.
Yeah. And Brian would be a professional soccer player.
Here's the thing, Greg. You seem like a little bit more reasonable, rational person than Dusty.
Okay.
If you're going to blend in a sporting event, you need to be on a team.
Yeah.
And your team, I said your teammates can be in on it
Yeah.
where they don't even involve you in the action. I would get out there, stand in the middle, just run
I
around.
see.
a
So
little.
if the teammates were in on it,
yeah,
they would be like.
But we've seen you run now. We've still not seen
Yeah,
me
man.
swim.
I'm
yeah.
not running. I'm going to just jog around a little bit and walk. I'm not.
I
gonna
think you
try to
could.
do-
Yeah. If you're just jogging, they could be like, if they were in on it, Bates is covered. We got to. Yeah.
go.
They're double teaming Bates.
There you go.
So you got to have everybody
Yeah.
in on it
Yeah.
to get you.
Including the opposing team and the refs. Because I don't think you're getting double teamed out there. I'll just say that.
Well, that's true. But even a team sport, it's got to be a team sport, I think.
Sure.
I don't
sure.
think so.
But even it's all on you now to
Mhm.
trick them. Where even a team sport like baseball, there's only so much you can control. You can't stop the other team from hitting it to
Right.
you.
I think you would blend in better in baseball than soccer.
I don't think I'm really going to blend in anywhere, but I need to be somewhere where,
I think the soccer. I got to say the soccer's not a bad one.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I could buy it.
Mhm.
I've actually already done it. You guys just didn't know it. So-
Because no one was watching.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just Americans don't know soccer well enough to know. You know what I mean?
But you think they know swimming?
Well, you got to take your shirt
The
off.
thing about swimming is
Swimming's so objective.
Give me if
like-
I'm wrong. It's all a race.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a race.
At
So
some
there
point,
are,
you
But I'm a
might be
good
bu-
swimmer, though. I think that I could hold up pretty well. And now I need to practice a little bit.
I think.
There's going to be distance between you and these guys.
I think you're not even on the screen when the people finish.
which
You
is
know what I
blending
mean?
in.
I think
Going
you're
the other way.
that might be blending in. They don't even
That's a good
know.
point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to see it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, one day.
Nateland Olympics.
Stephen
Is that-
Rogers is like a real swimmer.
Is he?
Yeah. He can swim.
He like swam competitively.
Me too, but not for a league. But I had to I had to keep up with the other kids when I was growing up.
I was competitive.
Yeah, he was doing backstreet non-sanctioned swimming events.
Street ball.
Everybody was older than me. I had to keep up with
street
them.
swimming.
It's like, I bet you $500 you can't beat Dusty.
Yeah, other kids are trying to drown me and stuff like that.
Well, you can certainly beat me. I can tell you that. Yeah, let's get into who's going to read them.
I think somebody else.
Why don't you go?
All right.
Yeah, do it.
Comments come from Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Apple Podcast reviews, and Nateland at natebargatze.com.
Or text 615. Sorry, just kidding.
No. People always ask.
Buying that.
Oh, yeah. People always ask what email. It's Nateland at natebargatze.com. Okay. Marquise Alston. Hey, Bear. Anytime you need fill in, please invite Greg Warren to sit in on the podcast. He's a perfect fit with all of you, even Birdbeak Bates. All right.
He really yelled, "Hey, Bear!" too.
Hey, Bear!
Yeah.
All caps.
Yeah.
All caps.
Thanks, Marquise. Is it Marquise or
Marquez, probably.
Or Mark.
You can call him Mark.
Marquez?
Maybe
Maybe it's French.
Got a
Marquez.
little bit of French in there.
Yeah, if you're going French, I think it would be also the E and the S would be silent.
Marquez.
Yeah. No, there'd be an accent on there.
Oh, you're probably right.
Accent aigu.
Dana Langley. In the late 80s, early 90s, I would go to Oakland A's games. They produced a fan guide which would list the hotels and the players would stay in for both the A's and visiting teams.
That's crazy.
I once rang through to Jose Canseco's room.
That's at the request of the team, probably. That's how the women find
Yeah.
As a 13-year-old fangirl, all I could do was giggle and wish him good luck. I once called Roger Clemens' room and wished him good luck. Thanks for reminding me of the good old days. Keep up the great work. That is crazy. Last week we talked about heroes, people on our wall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why they're sharing it. I'm
trying to think. If I were 13 years old and they gave me a phone number that went to Chipper Jones, yeah, I would call it. And
what
then
would you say?
I would have nothing to say. I'd just go, "You're awesome, dude." And he would go, "All right."
And that would have been great, though. You would have talked with your friends about
it. I would still be talking about it to this day.
Yeah.
I talked to Chipper Jones once on the phone.
I met him once.
Did you really?
I don't know if I said that on this podcast.
No, did you really?
Yeah.
Where?
Go Bananas, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Really?
Braves were in town. I was just maybe a little bit above an open micer.
Yeah.
And this is how dumb I was, man. I just, it was, I was younger. I think I was late 20s, early 30s or something. And Chipper Jones, they were in town. The Braves were playing the Reds, and I guess they had a night off or something. So it was like a show, and I think I was on it or something. And there's this woman in there, and I said to the owner, I'm like, "Dude, did you see that girl?" Yeah, like I must have indicated that I thought I could talk to her, or I had a shot or something. He just goes, "You're the dumbest person. That's Chipper Jones's wife." Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Seems fair. Yeah, he was a show.
So that's how you met him.
Yeah, and now I'm not maybe I didn't meet him, but I saw him.
You saw his wife.
I saw his wife. Yeah.
He wasn't even there.
I thought I had a shot with his wife. Is what I'm saying.
I did think
saw his wife from a distance.
I don't even know if I thought I had a shot. I was going to take a shot.
Yeah,
and then I saw him. I did see him.
Wow.
I mean, and Go Bananas is not a big place, so we were close to meeting. Like
Yeah.
we passed in the hallway or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's closer than I've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out that last week I listed the guys I had on my wall, and they said in typical Bakes fashion, all three of these guys should have went to the Hall of Fame, but didn't for different reasons. I had Dale Murphy, Pete Rose, and Dwight Gooden.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dale Murphy, people just say should be in the Hall of Fame.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Power hitter before there were big time power hitters. He did play a lot of his games in Fulton County Stadium, which was kind of the Homer place back before every place had Homer.
It was like the Rocky Stadium.
Yeah. But, I mean, it certainly wasn't like the Rocky Stadium, but like of its time, it was the Rocky Stadium.
That's what I was saying.
Okay. I wasn't trying to be a jerk. I was just
They
saying.
just moved it over to Colorado.
In fairness to Dale, it was harder to hit home.
I do like, though, in that story, how you talked about how dumb you were, and then the age you listed is Aaron's age. You were like late 20s, early 30s. That was real stupid.
Yeah, I was.
My brain wasn't even developed.
I was, but he's infinitely more mature than I was, intelligent, and a way better comic than I was at that age.
Well, I'll agree with that. I mean, I remember my late 20s and early 30s, and I've always thought
a lot of it you don't remember too.
And I've always thought that about Aaron. I'm like, wow, it's really impressive.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you, Brian?
I don't remember it. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I had Chipper Jones poster on the wall. No. So Dwight Gooden, that's before your time. But I mean, he was first 2 years in the league. They're like, this guy's going to be the greatest pitcher of all time.
Yeah.
Nobody was.
Won like 25 games or something, didn't he?
He went 24-4 in his like second year in the league.
Wow.
Nobody will ever win 24 games again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then, gotten some drugs and stuff.
Yeah.
You ever hear that story about?
Well, I know you don't relate to sports, so I thought maybe the drugs would help you get on board.
That'll get him in.
Yeah. There's a story about Daryl
Strawberry.
Daryl
Strawberry. He's like, I want to start having a good time. This baseball thing's not for me.
That Daryl Strawberry was his teammate.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And he's like a pretty phenomenal guy now. Like he had some drug problems. He's a great player, had some, but he's like a preacher now. And you hear him talking, really neat guy. But back then he's having some drug problems. So they call in Daryl, who's a teammate of Dwight Gooden, and they go, "Hey, listen, Daryl, there's a lot of reports from a lot of media going around that there's a young African-American player for the Mets that's doing a lot of drugs in New York City." And Strawberry goes, "Yeah, it's Dwight." He goes, "I was worried about it too."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've read that. There's a book called like The Year the Bad Guys Won. It's about the 86 Mets. It's a pretty good book.
I think there's a 30 for 30 about them too.
Is it? Yeah. They're like the only person they said was, and I don't know, was like a really solid human being. Basically, it was Mookie Wilson. It's like a really nice guy. Gary Carter was like a nice guy, but they said he sucked up to everybody, and his teammates, said that. I don't know how much this is true, but yeah,
that was my team back then. That whole season.
Really?
Yeah.
You like the 86 Mets?
I did. Dwight Gooden was one of my favorite players.
He was great, man.
He was 19 when he came in the league, and like I identify with that guy.
Yeah.
Same kind of person. Do you think today's July 1st? I think July is the most boring month of the year for sports.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so good for everything else. It's just a good day, just a good month to live life.
I like baseball, and it's the All-Star game, and I love baseball. You like baseball?
I do.
I mean, I do too.
Yeah, but there are times of the year where there's like 3 or 4 exciting sports going on, and this is kind of all we have now. Is baseball in July.
Right, because I think it is designed for you to like, you're like, hey, it's July. Let's get out, enjoy yourself,
Take your shirt off.
Yeah, take your shirt off. Twist it around your head, spin it like a helicopter. You know what I mean?
At least this year we have the Olympics, but
that's August though, isn't it?
I think it starts late July.
Oh, does it?
I think so.
I'm fired up about that. Love it.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You've been waiting all year for the Olympics?
All 4 years.
I like the wrestling.
What do you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I get it. I follow every one of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, since they were like in college.
All right.
Michael Birdwell. Growing up in Indiana, I was a huge Larry Bird fan.
What?
I mean, I believe that you're telling the truth when you say that, but it sounds like a joke.
I've never been more serious about anything.
I
love Olympic wrestling.
But just the way you said it, it's like, that sounds like a joke, but I think it's true.
I got nothing coming punchline wise.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love him.
Who's the big American wrestler this year?
We got a few. I mean, I'd say Kyle Dake is the probably you guys are all familiar with Kyle. Yeah. I'd say Kyle's probably the biggest favorite because they're making some of the Russians sit. They're not letting a few of the Russians in because of their stance on Ukraine.
Really?
Not all the Russians, but some Russians who have been outspoken or said some things about Ukraine. So, and the Russians are really, really good.
It's kind of a weird take, though. You're like, hey, you're at war with another country, and we're not going to let you wrestle because you're favoring your own country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No,
Yeah.
it's like, isn't that? Yeah, that just seems weird. I mean, I'm not even taking a side, but you're
No,
like,
I know what you're saying.
what do you want these guys to do? Be
mean,
like, oh no, we don't stand with our own country, but we'd like to represent them in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I empathize with Ukraine quite a bit, but yeah, I kind of see what you're saying too.
Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know how they keep them out, but there's like 4 Russians that are really, really good.
Seems like they're using it to get some gold for America.
Sidikov is going to have to sit, guys.
Sidikov?
Really?
Yeah, Sidikov's going to have to sit.
What
which-
about
It's not even worth watching. No.
Rulon Gardner?
he's a little older, man.
Oh, okay.
He's been out of it for a while. I'm impressed you know that name.
Yeah. He's the guy who upset the Russian, right?
Like
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock.
That's more UFC.
Yeah, what about-
I don't think he'd ever-
Goldberg? Is he gonna be in there?
No.
Kurt Angle won an Olympic gold medal.
He
That's
did.
true.
He did wrestled while I was wrestling in college. Yeah.
Yeah. You beat him, right?
No, I did not. He's a heavyweight, Brian.
What were
And I
you?
would not have beaten him. I mean, he was much better than I was.
Yeah.
I lost to his teammate, as a matter of fact.
Michael Birdwell. Growing up in Indiana, I was
Brian Isosceles. Right? Is that something? Like a triangle, Kurt Angle, like you got
Took
an
me a
angle
second,
and an
but I'm right there.
isosceles.
Boom.
Is
I'm
that
right
something?
there with you, man. Yeah.
Took me a minute
Yeah,
too, but
I
I
got
was
it.
like, once it came, I was like, I
Yeah.
know the moment's passed, but I still would like to.
I'm glad you went back and got it because
Maybe they could edit that little space out of time and make it
Mhm.
seem like I was really quick-witted with it.
yeah, that's going to change a lot. Yeah, they're going to.
it's a great joke.
That guy was on that isosceles. He's like nothing. I don't even think he had to think about it. It's like almost like he was sitting on it the whole podcast.
His time is impeccable.
Yeah. Whereas if they leave it as it is, it'd be like, dude was 7 seconds late.
Yeah,
Man,
come on,
why did he
dude.
go back and talk about
He
it?
had to Google geometry terms just to get that punchline in.
Isosceles is the one where they're all the same size.
I don't
So
really know. I just
Okay.
tried to come
That's a
up
square.
with
That's an,
something.
that's an equilateral triangle.
I believe it's which is
Isosceles, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a different shaped triangle. One's real long and another one's
man.
real
I
small.
think you are wrong.
Am I? I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I have no idea. This is the one.
Isosceles, of course, the renowned Greek philosopher. That
Michael Birdwell.
Ooh.
Growing up in Indiana, I was a huge Larry Bird fan. My friend worked for a pest control company, and Larry's house was on his route. Route?
Hey, you're good either way.
He gave me a clipboard and let me follow him around while he serviced the home. Once he finished, he had Larry sign the bill and then later gave it to me so I could have his autograph. Would you have pretended to work pest control to meet your childhood hero, or is that too far on the stalker spectrum?
I kind of did it without even.
You
even
did work
decided.
pest control,
Well,
right?
I sold pesticides, but it's funny that he used Spectrum. Spectrum Brands was the pesticide company that I worked for, based out of St. Louis.
Oh, they're out of St. Louis?
United Industries.
And
was
you
the
were
umbrella.
calling on Home Depots,
Yeah.
Lowe's type places,
Yeah.
right? Doing some sort of unscrupulous stuff from the last time I was here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's stuff I didn't care for.
Yeah.
I mean, now we know each other and we're friends, but back
Yeah, I
then,
mean,
if we
if
were,
I were doing your job, I would have been smashing Peter Pan
Yeah.
cans in the back.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I want to say this, and man, I'm grateful for a lot of stuff that Nate's done for me.
Yeah.
I am. But I mean, I did that tour in day 3 in the green room. There's Skippy. It's just, I don't
Just
know
to
what
mess
he was
with
doing.
you?
I don't know.
Hmm?
I'm thinking maybe he's like, let's see, his first time out on the tour.
Mhm.
Maybe
Uh-huh.
let's see, shake him up, see if he can still
It's rattle his
Rattle
cage.
him,
a
yeah,
little
rather
bit.
yeah.
see if. And I'm not saying I probably didn't have the best set that night. I was angry, but yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. But yeah, of course. I mean, I'm just to answer this guy's question.
Yeah.
I don't have childhood heroes, but if I did, I would fake being a pest control guy to meet them.
Kid Rock or Hank Williams Jr., or you didn't have anybody growing up?
No, I like them, but I don't.
Hero's too strong of a word.
Yeah.
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 Well, who cares what you call it? You know what we're talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to relate. I'm trying to be
Okay.
relatable to people with heroes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I go, yeah, I would have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last week was a good week for you not to be here.
Yeah. Somebody told me you said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't like a hero?
No.
Okay.
Well, idols probably. The idolization, right?
Yeah, in any of that really.
They're just
Mhm.
people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's
you don't
people,
like looking up to
flawed.
people.
and there's people that I'm like, I like the work that they've done.
You don't look up to people at all.
I don't think so. I appreciate what people have done, but you know,
Wow.
I think I look up to some people.
Mhm.
I missed the episode, so I don't know who some of your heroes.
I look
are
up to Mike James and
He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is
Lachlan
tough.
Patterson. And,
Mike's
Nick
good.
Thune. Yeah.
Good guy to roll craps with.
hmm
Mike.
I don't know what that means.
We
but,
did casino night.
Well, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll
yeah.
get there. We'll get there. I'll keep moving.
Today.
but yeah, Michael, I would. And his name's Birdwell, and he really likes Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Likes him well.
Yeah.
You think if it went poorly, he would have changed his last name?
Maybe.
Larry Bird sucks. No, wait. That'd be Michael. Okay. Justin Maggard. I am a category manager for a grocery retailer. My job is to meet with people like Greg and Dusty to decide what items we carry, what price we sell them for, and where in the planogram we merchandise their items.
Mm-hmm.
Hearing old war stories about life in retail is great medicine while I work.
Where is this guy working? He said grocery.
Yeah.
Man, I'd like to know which chain.
Mm-hmm. I bet Aldi.
You think Aldi?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say maybe
Dutch company.
maybe I was out of the loop, but the store manager
German.
usually wasn't meeting with me to decide what we would carry. I would be like, "Hey, let's meet," and then I would track them down and go, "You need to order some more of this."
Oh yeah, man. And they are not easy to track
Yeah,
down.
they're not trying. They don't include me on the planogram decisions at all.
Well, now the planogram that's the thing.
It's all corporate.
Decentralized.
Yeah.
Decentralized. There's guys like you're not worth much anymore because you
Yeah.
can't walk into that store with all your charm and bad tactics that you're
Yeah.
using before. You still can't move.
I don't know if I told you I would do this. This is one of my favorites. Go in, like there's 3 wasp and hornet killers for me, 3 facings for me, and 3 facings for the competition. I would move the label, knock them down to 1 or 2
we talked
facings,
about this, man.
and then I would do 5 facings for myself.
Greg's getting upset again.
Dishonorable, man. They should have thrown you out of that store, man. That is, it's. You guys are laughing, but that is not cool. Man.
They didn't know it was,
tactics.
and then
it is.
And then you pack the shelf so full that in order for them to change the facings, it's a lot of work.
Yeah. And they won't.
Yeah.
They won't. That's right up there with switching tags and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. This I don't like it.
You're scum.
I was a
Yeah.
different guy back then.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
But this guy, and I do like what you said about trying to track down that store manager. That is not an easy thing to do.
Oh yeah. I would walk in the store and see managers dart away.
Yeah. And then you got to go up to the front where they have the customer service.
Yeah.
And then I started in Texas, and they Dale, there's a sales rep here to see you. and he'll be like, "What do you got? What do you got?
Yeah.
What do you got?"
He's like, I'm real busy right now. What do you got? I got a lot going on.
They never like, you know what, man? I got a little free time. What do you?
Come on to the back.
Let's sit down, and maybe have a cup of coffee. They're always busy.
A couple cigars.
Real busy right now. Real busy. What do you got?
Aaron, you want to tell us about Chime?
I'm so excited.
Chime
It is
in with
summer again. But summer can get expensive with all your planning. So when you have financial goals, you need to figure out what is worth saving for. Right now, Lucy and I are preparing for life as first-time parents. But our summers should still be fun and not financially stressful. With the Chime, not crime. We're trying to avoid crime. With the Chime Secured Credit Builder Visa credit card, it's easy to start building credit with everyday purchases and regular on-time payments with no annual fees or interest. And if your credit score grows, so do your opportunities for lower rates with things like car or home loans. My favorite thing about Chime is the fee-free overdraft with SpotMe. You can overdraft up to $200 without fees with SpotMe. Just set up qualifying direct deposit, sign up for SpotMe, and Chime will spot you to your limit when you make a credit card purchase or cash withdrawal that exceeds your balance. With Chime Secure Credit Card, you can improve your credit scores all summer long. Get started today at chime.com/Nate. That's chime.com/Nate. Chime feels like progress. The Chime Credit Builder Visa credit card is issued by the Bancorp Bank NA or Stride Bank NA. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Go to chime.com/disclosures for details.
Holy smokes.
He's a pro.
That thing at the end?
Yeah.
He's the best.
That's that.
Look at him.
No,
He's in his zone.
That was great.
He blacked out. He doesn't even know what happened.
mean,
I don't know.
that thing
I don't know
at the
what
end,
ad read that was.
I thought that's as good as I've heard on the radio.
I agree.
Thanks, man.
Real good.
I did start. It turned into an ad read for crime there in the middle.
Yeah.
I had to switch it up.
I like that.
But
Had to
you
fix it.
recovered, man. And My buddy Sean that you met, that's a big fan of yours, a big fan of podcasts. He loves the podcast.
Clarify.
No,
podcast.
Yeah.
He is. He likes all you guys, but he really likes Aaron, and he got to meet Aaron.
Ooh.
He's a comic. He's a good comic. My buddy Sean O'Brien, he has mentioned to me.
I was going to do a show with him. He canceled.
He did.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, it was, he had to, or his girlfriend was going to leave him.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
She didn't want him working with Brian.
No. Because
you said it was going to be Aaron.
Women.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
No, he was supposed to, he made plans with her on something and then
It was
he
a
forgot
wedding.
about it. It was a wedding.
Yeah.
Anyways, he has mentioned that Aaron's real good at reading ads.
Yeah.
How
Not real
about
good.
Words
He's the
getting
best.
out. Words getting out.
Yeah.
Morgan Smith. My wife and I saw Preacher Lawson at Comedy Off Broadway. He did a lot of crowd work. Near the end of the show, someone shouted and stole his punchline out from under him. It felt like he was about to close on the joke, but then had to add another bit at the end for a better close. How do you deal with a difficult crowd, and what is the worst thing that has happened to you with crowd work?
You want to take this one, Brian?
Well, I shared the
Well,
story.
we all know how Bates crowd works.
Yeah.
Bates is a master at it.
One time
Have
I
you
told
heard this, Dusty?
No.
I mean, there's many, but I think the one
Oh,
Greg's
have I heard
referencing-
that he's a master at crowd work?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know how
Of
he works
course.
the crowd?
Of course.
Yeah. How does he do it, Greg?
Of course.
I think I was at the Comedy Catch in Chattanooga one time, and there was a guy wearing an Auburn shirt up front, and I was like, "You go to Auburn?" And he's like, "Nah." I'm like, yeah, me either. And then I just kept going or
Yeah.
something like that.
That's what he doesn't hit
Yeah.
him. He doesn't hit him at all.
Yeah.
He just
Yeah.
leaves him hanging.
Yeah.
He just asks him a question, they answer it, moves right to the
Yeah.
next guy.
That's really the best kind of crowd work.
Yeah.
You work them, but there's no need to insult them.
Yeah.
Just work
Yeah.
them. You
Yeah.
go to that college? No, me either. Good
Yes.
on you for supporting them, though.
No jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Don't tie him in at all.
Just some facts.
Yeah.
Just some basic
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
What
so
do
you know about me, I didn't go there either.
Yeah.
What do you do? I'm a lawyer. Outstanding.
Yeah. Good for you.
Outstanding.
Yeah. You want to talk about dealing with difficult crowds?
Well,
You were looking for your ad read.
nowadays, thankfully, my crowds are not that difficult. I am getting an audience, and
Jeez,
it's very
Greg,
nice.
You want to talk about dealing with difficult crowds?
But I will say though, I have dealt with difficult crowds, and you just gotta. I feel like you gotta learn to roll with it. I think for me personally, I like to go. Like if it's a corporate gig or something like that, where I know it's not going to be good, I just go ahead in my mind. I go, this is not going to be good.
Mhm.
Just be ready for this to not be good.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you're able to just roll with it.
Yeah.
And
you
I,
can only be pleasantly surprised
Right.
at that point.
I did a corporate gig in New Orleans. They were so drunk. The audience was so wasted. I take the stage and they're like, tell a joke.
Yeah.
And then I kind of start crowd working them, just messing around with them. And then after about 10 minutes, I look at the guy who's paying me and I was like, this is not what I do. And I was like, I can just do my act or I can just do whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, do whatever this is. And the guy was like, yeah, he just kind of looked at me like, yeah, this is fine. And I did that for like an hour
Oh, gosh.
and they
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they loved it. Everybody was happy.
Yeah.
And that's all people want.
Yep.
to be happy.
Yeah.
There's a lot there, man.
Yeah.
A lot in what you just said. I mean, one thing is I have noticed, like, I don't know, at some point I was like, man, I haven't had hecklers in a long time. I'm like, yeah, dummy, you're better. Like,
Yeah.
like what you're saying is somewhat interesting and funny now.
Yeah.
Back when you weren't that good, there were more hecklers. And man, I'm with you on those. Because you think corporate, oh, this is going to be very clean, very crisp material, very attentive. And then you walk in there sometimes and you're like, this is a bar gig. This is like when I was working and I did this one down in Phoenix and I got in there and it's just this conference room and it was like Wolf of Wall Street, but the redneck version.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they were all, I can't remember what they were selling. They were just so drunk and going crazy and they were giving like speeches about how you got to throw your money in the company. And at one point the guy just goes, and then Greg Warren, and I went up there and there's like two guys in front of me that are just openly talking
Oh, yeah.
to each other. Like, and I'm like, and it was I remember put the phone on the table, set the timer.
Oh,
when that thing
yeah.
gets to 60 minutes, I made a bunch of money
Mhm.
and I'm going to get to 60 minutes.
Mhm.
And they loved it because I did what you did. I was like, now in my mind, I was like, that was a horrible comedy show. Like that is not something
yeah.
that was not. I'm not proud of anything that went on in there.
Yeah.
but
you're surviving
Yeah,
and you got it. Like whatever, like sometimes you're up there though and nothing that you do works. I go, my best new joke doesn't work. My best old joke doesn't work. My 100% joke doesn't work. I go,
it's no longer 100% joke.
yeah, I go, hey, you know, these are good jokes. And, you know, those kind of things. I got every trick that I have, I pull out and they're like, I got 1-2 guys laughing. I go, all right, these are my guys.
Yeah.
The rest of this room doesn't even like comedy.
Yeah. I had one this year and it wasn't their fault. Like I still know, the room was tricky. It was a big room, whatever, but I was like, I had their attention and they did not care for it. Like, they weren't rude or anything.
That's even worse.
Yeah, I know. I know, Bates. That's what I'm saying.
Were you doing malarkey? Were you bringing the malarkey?
No,
up?
man. This was no malarkey.
This is the no malarkey tour.
And tomfoolery. I did my act.
And I might have talked about this last time you were here too, but just a difficult crowd, not a corporate gig. I did the St. Louis Funny Bone, and this was in 2020 with like COVID. Like they had just announced that the city was about to go under lockdown again. And so on Tuesday, and I'm there on Saturday, and the host or whatever said, you know, give it up for, you know, the waitress. There's like a legendary
Patty.
waitress. Yeah.
Patty.
They were like, give it up for Patty. And she got a huge cheer. And then they brought me up. And I got less of a cheer.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, I got less of a cheer than Patty. And they go, she's a legend. And then it felt like the whole show started wrong.
You can't
Like,
follow Patty.
they were like, they didn't even like me because I made a little Patty joke.
Yeah,
This guy's trying to upstage Patty in her house.
Yeah, it is her house.
Who does this guy think he is?
Yeah.
Who even heard of this guy?
Well, I mean, I heard they loved you there.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I had a good time.
Because they were trying to get you back. I know you were pretty much on the theaters at that point.
You
But that-
were battling some health issues.
Oh yeah, that
week.
whole weekend. I was beginning to rupture my appendix
and didn't even
on
know
that weekend.
Ooh.
I was just having severe stomach pain.
Oh,
a
my
bomb
God.
was going off in his abdomen.
Yeah.
Really?
He's doing shows.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah. So, but it was, I had a lot of fun, but that one particular show where I made the Patty joke started way wrong.
Patty's been at that club for a long time.
And I liked Patty. I wasn't
She's
even,
awesome.
I wasn't even trashing Patty. I was like, she got a bigger cheer than me. And they're
Yeah.
like,
You're trying to be self-deprecating.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
were like, yeah, of course she did, buddy.
Yeah.
Do your jokes.
Yeah. She's funny, man.
Yeah.
She's funny. And I don't think Patty is sometimes aware that there's comedians on stage. Patty is just kind of like, yeah. She'll talk about, but man, they were drinkers. They were big drinkers. I rang this and this.
Are you saying Patty, Paddy?
No,
Patty.
P-A-T-T-I. There's no E, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Patty.
Sound like you were saying it.
Well,
Patty Dugan, born on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Patty, it's Padraig. That's the male. D-D-Y.
I mean, I think it's Padraig, right? I mean, Padraig. I don't think.
Yeah.
I just couldn't tell if you were saying
Yeah.
Patricia.
Patty
Could be
with a T
Patricia.
or with a
Padraig.
D, like St.
Yeah.
Patty.
Yeah.
No, Patty. She
Patty.
was born on St. Patty's Day.
I didn't know there was a
Really?
difference.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I hosted for Rob Schneider one time, and I go, "Give it up for Rob Schneider!" And then he comes up, and Schneider, and we go past each other. He goes, "Schneider, it's Schneider." And I go in the green room and I start telling the guys, I go, "I don't know what he's saying." He said his last name. I go, "Yeah, that's what I said."
Where was that?
Zanies.
Yeah.
And they go, "Schneider. You got to say the CH." I go, "Oh,
It's a schwa sound.
yeah, I wasn't even aware that I was not doing that."
That's funny.
Rob Snyder.
And we're passing on. It's like my second hosting gig ever.
Yeah.
He goes, "It's Schneider." I was like, "Yeah." I mean, that's
Yeah.
what-
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, nailed it, didn't I?
I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm well aware of who you are."
I know you. I just introduced you.
That's right. This guy's lost it.
Yeah. He did all those movies with Adam Chandler.
Let me skip ahead on some of these comments.
Sindler's List.
Nate Pitts.
Ugh.
Who is everyone's most underrated comedian? Or what comedian do you know has not received the attention his work deserves. Mine has to be Tim Hawkins. He's pretty popular amongst Christians, but I feel not everyone knows who he is, and he's been at it for a while.
I know Tim went to school at the same college I did, played baseball for Missouri.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know him well, but we were in school at the same time. Has some, nice guy.
Well, Aaron and I know him from the John Chris roast, but have you ever met him?
No, I didn't get invited to that. But
Hey, that's good.
Tim is really great, and it's like I guess it just depends on what you mean by underrated because he's hugely
huge.
He's the biggest Christian comic
For 20 years, he can go to any city in America and sell 5,000 tickets.
Yeah, he's
so
hugely
it's tough
popular.
to say that.
Yeah, that's not underrated.
He's not getting mainstream attention necessarily,
Yeah.
but it's like they're. I mean, I got more mainstream attention than Tim Hawkins, but I sell less tickets. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm not far behind, but
Yeah, you're doing good.
yeah.
Well, whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
I like to say good,
Good.
doing good.
no
I
man
like
is
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the
Fair point.
Andy Hendrickson has a pretty good joke about him. He used to be roommates with
Tim Hawkins.
Keith Alberstadt.
Okay. Alberstadt.
And he said, "How you doing?" Albert said something like, "How you doing?" And Andy goes, "I'm doing good." He goes, "You're not doing good. You're doing well." He goes, "If you're doing good, that means you were out like doing charitable work or something."
Yeah.
That he goes, "So how you doing?" And Andy goes, "I'm angry."
That's good.
It's a great joke.
That's good.
Yeah. Andy Hendrickson, underrated comedian.
Yeah, there you
Very,
go.
very
There you
funny.
go.
Great Letterman set. Very funny.
You guys have one?
I would say this guy just passed, but I would say James Gregory was an underrated comedian to me. I thought James Gregory was very good and not much success outside of the South and Midwest.
But giant success within the South.
Yeah,
massive amounts of tickets.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just reaching here.
Funniest man in America, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just think James Gregory was great, and I talk to people, and so many people don't even know
People
who
have
James
never heard
Gregory
of
is.
him. Yeah.
And I thought he was a really great comedian.
Yeah.
Mine is Lavelle Crawford.
Yeah, man. From my hometown.
I think Lavelle should be in the discussion as an all-time great.
Yeah.
And he never is for whatever reason. I mean, people know he's funny. People know he kills, but he's not talked about in the same way that a few
He's
other
so
comics
funny.
are who I think he's much funnier than and has a better body of work and writes smarter stuff. Than
Interesting that you use better body, but
better help.
because he was a big guy.
Yeah,
I don't think
he's
he
still
is
alive.
anymore, though.
No,
He's still
not
alive.
anymore.
He's still
Yeah.
pretty big.
But he's not big anymore.
I mean, he's
He's gained some of it back.
He is very funny, though. I'm just making a joke.
He's
He
from my
is
hometown.
very
We
funny.
did open mics together.
I don't know if
Yeah.
he's gained it, but he never got. He wasn't like rail thin. He just
No, but he looked.
yeah.
He
He
lost
looks
quite a bit of weight.
all right. Yeah.
Very funny.
Very funny.
I mean,
I agree
saw
with you.
I saw him probably when he first few times he ever did it, and he was funny then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
I mean-
fun to think about Greg and Lavelle Crawford at an open mic
It
together.
is funny.
somewhere
Yeah.
in St. Louis.
Lavelle.
Yeah,
He was great. Our buddy, the guy that you know too, Brendan Eyre, I think is an underrated comic. I think he's a
Brendan Ayre's very funny.
real funny guy, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
guys would like
Real
him.
workhorse too.
I'm
Like,
sure I know some too. I'm trying to run through it, but I just can't think of them. But yeah, who's this guy? I don't know him.
Brendan
Brendan
Eyre.
Eyre, you'd
Yeah.
like him, man.
Yeah.
Did a Looney Bin weekend with him. It was
Oh,
one
yeah.
of those like we worked, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he really works hard and is very funny. Brendan Eyre from Cleveland.
From
Right.
Cleveland, now
Yeah.
lives in Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
Good act, man. You guys would like him.
What about you?
I mean, I think Joe List is
Yeah.
super funny.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's not like no one knows who he is, but
Yeah,
he's not.
all these guys you're saying are doing real well. They're all doing way better than me.
Why are you directing this at me? But Joe List isn't a household name, and I
Mhm.
think
He should be. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think he's super fun. I mean, for that matter, Brian Regan, who's been selling out for years, the majority of America doesn't know who that is. I feel like.
You just can't bring him into this discussion because he's doing really well.
It just depends on who you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like
It started,
Overrated,
though,
to,
with
underrated to whom?
my mom doesn't know who Bert Kreischer is, you know? So
Right.
it's just depending on who you're talking to. Like a lot of people I know don't know Sebastian Maniscalco. So it's
Right.
like,
Mhm.
I think the great thing about comedy is you can be very famous in the comedy world
Yeah.
and still relatively unknown.
Yeah, my dad came to Nate's show. He knew that that Nate had done a lot for me and everything, but he watched his special.
Yeah.
And then he came to the live show and loved it, but he wasn't too aware of Nate before I told him about Nate. And I'm like, Dad, he's the biggest comic in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My dad, he just asked the craziest things. Like, I think after the show, he said, that first guy, is he a pretty big deal? And I go, it's Steven Rogers. I go, of the 5 of us, there's Nate, and then there's the 4 of us. Nate's a big deal. The 4 of us are not. But Steven's great. And he's like you. He's young.
Mm-hmm.
Like
we're the same age, I think.
Yeah, you guys are. I think I said to him the other day. I was like, "How old is this?" I go, "Man, if you don't completely screw things up, you're going to have a great career." Like you're this funny and this young. You better not, just don't make some really stupid mistake.
Yeah.
Let's do one more comment. You want to, Greg, pick out a name.
I'd like to hear what Mandy McKnight has to say.
All right, Mandy McKnight. The way Greg listens to Aaron read an ad is the way every woman wants her man to pay attention to her.
All right.
You are very intent on when.
Well, he's a salesman.
Yeah.
You got to respect the craft.
Exactly. I mean, there's business that's going on at this point. We're paying bills here.
That's right.
That's right. I want to, and also again, people like Sean O'Brien are out there saying, if you want, you got to listen to this guy read ads.
Yeah. You ever seen his act? No. But the ad reads.
Yeah.
This guy's incredible.
Yeah.
Pretty good comedian, but what he does is ad reads.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
You should read some of those ads in the middle of your act.
Yeah.
You could be the first
sponsors.
guy.
Yeah.
Just sell out, man.
Just completely sell out. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Before I get to this next joke, have you guys heard about BetterHelp?
Yeah. You got
coming.
Raise your hand if you bought these tickets online. Well, some of you need ExpressVPN.
Yeah.
Well, one thing we didn't mention this past week is for those of us who opened for Nate on this last tour that's wrapping up, Nate invited us to come to Indianapolis to do a little casino night to thank the crew and everyone involved in it. So we did that one night last week. There's some of us gathered on stage.
Okay.
It's not the final photo I don't think, but there's one of them. So
this is the whole crew. There's Steven, Nate's dad, a lot of the crew, the tour managers, Johnny W., Keith Alberstadt, Derek Stroop.
Wow, Johnny W. is tall, huh?
He is tall.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Johnny W., but I thought Keith is a very tall guy.
Yeah,
but,
Keith is tall.
look at Mike James back
Mike
there.
James.
Yeah, Mike James.
but it's like, I don't know. I just know Mike James is tall, but it's like Johnny W. is like Mike's height.
Yeah.
Look how tall Dustin Nickerson is there.
Yeah, he's there, isn't he?
Yeah. So it was super fun. Had a fun casino night where no one lost money. It was set up in a way where we all could just have fun. We gave out prizes at the end for people who had the most chips, but no one lost money in the night. It was just fun, but yet competitive. Would you say?
It got crazy on the craps table.
Yeah.
Nick Novicki had the greatest craps roll I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what you're laughing at, man. I mean, it was huge.
Because I remember it's one of those, I was at the blackjack table and you're having a good time, but then right over there, people are screaming like they're having the best time of their lives.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you came over?
I want to be over there. What's happening over there? And it was Nick Novicki on the roll of his lifetime. Just I don't even understand what's happening, but he's doing all the right stuff.
I tried to explain stuff to you.
You did a good job.
But craps is an emotional game. It is. I mean, and we were. I mean, there's just this collective enthusiasm. We were all going crazy, and Novicki's just hitting point after point. It was, and this is fake money, and we were going crazy. It was awesome. And then Stroop had a good roll too. Stroop had those are the two that really. I mean, people were making. And Nate got out early.
Mm-hmm.
Nate got out early, went over to the roulette wheel, hit you bet black or red, right?
Yeah.
Nate bets 25 and hits it, which is like a 40-1 payout or something.
Yeah. So Nate just starts betting so specifically that his winnings just start compiling exponentially.
Yeah.
To a point where
He won all the money.
He had more than all the other comics combined.
Mm-hmm.
Nate just started dominating his own casino.
Do you think for any of you guys this might have really sparked some type of gambling addiction that you'll now carry over each time you work?
I think
at
it was
casino?
there.
Yeah,
With
Greg
me.
already had
I
it.
think it was
Yeah.
already there. Yeah.
Like you win with fake money,
Right.
so you're like, well, what can I do with real?
I'm a
money?
little worried about some of those guys at that craps table because I can see what craps can do because it's a powerful game.
Yeah.
And I saw a couple guys that had not played before that
Like-
were getting wrapped up in it.
Like, do you think we're going to see Nick Novicki's
That's
eventual
happy as-
collapse?
that's as happy as I'll ever be right there.
Yeah.
Novicki went nuts. Novicki was awesome. man.
He's going to be chasing this dragon
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And we're going to see him go completely down.
Okay, that's not a flattering picture. That's not.
Look at me counting my chips there. I got.
Bates, yeah. Have you ever heard the song "The Gambler"? You don't count your chips.
Well, I was going to
at
ask
the table.
Dusty if he had his top gambling country songs. I figured he did, but the Gambler's got to be up there.
Well, Gambler's got to be number one. I mean, I don't know a lot of gambling country songs, but Gambler's got to be number one.
All right, let me. And here's the thing. I want to preface this because my buddy Joe, who's a poker guy, told me that I think Norm McDonald discussed this on the Kimmel Show. So I don't
Okay.
want to. I'm not stealing. Maybe
I
I,
thought
heard.
he discussed the song "Coward of the County."
Okay, maybe he did. Maybe I heard it. So I don't know, and I don't do this in my act, but I have made a point for a very long time. Somebody who is an avid gambler. The Gambler starts out, and Kenny Rogers tell you about how much he learned from the Gambler. You learn nothing about gambling from the song The Gambler. Nothing.
He didn't give up his secret.
Nothing. Not one specific thing. You got to know when to hold them. Okay.
But when?
When?
Yeah.
You got to know when to fold them. When?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing they say, and Bates violated, the only thing they say is you never count your money
While you're sitting at the table.
until the dealing's done or whatever. When you're sitting at the table, you never count your money.
there's time
Which I
enough.
think is
It's time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
okay. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any. That's the one piece of advice he gave, and it's stupid advice. you think you're playing poker one time, and they'd be like, "I'm all in. How much you got?" I can't tell you. Kenny said, "I'm not supposed to count my money." You know,
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You learn nothing.
That is true.
And this guy knows so much. He knows everything about gambling.
And this so-called gambler takes the last bit of his liquor,
Yeah.
smokes his last cigarette, and then dies
Yeah,
on the train.
right there.
Yeah.
Without having given any of his secrets.
Yeah.
So this guy came away from this whole thing, which sounds like kind of an afternoon, really,
Yeah.
like a long period of time. And he walked away with not one shred of information about gambling.
Yeah. Great song, though.
It's a good song.
And the Maverick, good gambling movie.
Never
Oh,
seen
yeah,
it.
it's a
Mel
great
Gibson.
That's a great gambling movie.
Maverick. Yeah.
And James Garner.
James Garner,
That's James. And then who's
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
I think so.
Yeah.
Either Jodie
Yeah,
Foster or
that's Jodie
Helen
Foster.
Hunt. I get them
It's
confused.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Man, that was kind of a riverboat gambling.
Clint Black was in it. I met Clint Black.
Well, he's got
You
a song
met
in it.
Clint Black?
Yeah, at the Opry. We're friends now, kind of. No,
Good.
I don't
Good.
have his number, and I'll probably never talk to him again. But we had a moment.
It's better than me and Chipper Jones.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true. In the middle of my Chipper Jones story, I had to figure out that I didn't meet Chipper Jones.
He just got rejected by his wife.
Yeah. I didn't even get rejected. I didn't get his. Once I heard it was Chipper Jones' wife, I didn't.
Waylon Jennings is in the Maverick. He gets kicked out for cheating.
Man, he's good.
Yeah.
And from We Are the World. He left in that.
yeah. That's a good story. You know, Waylon Jennings they had compiled this big list of popular musicians of the day, and Waylon Jennings was one of those. And they started singing "We Are the World," and he's like, "Oh no!" He's like, "I don't do stuff like this." And then he
seen the
just
doc?
walked off.
Have you seen the documentary?
I'd heard a little bit about it.
It's
So
very
Waylon
fun.
Jennings didn't even make it through the first day.
No,
Well, it was an all-night thing, and about halfway through, he's like, "I'm out of here," and you see him like walk out and just leave.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
Yeah. Clint Black had a popular song from that movie
Yeah.
that was a gambling song.
yeah.
Are there other gambling songs? There's
I
gotta
don't know
be.
a lot of them.
Trudy by Charlie Daniels.
Trudy. Oh, Trudy. Trudy's better than The Gambler. By
Yeah?
Charlie Daniels. Trudy.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Call up Trudy on the telephone.
I'm
People
already,
love when I sing on this
Yeah,
podcast.
Yeah, I'm
they
already
do.
in on this one.
Send her a letter in the mail.
There was
Man.
one shot, Aaron, where it was just you celebrating. Everyone else is just straight face, and it doesn't matter. But there's a timetable of the excitement we're having there.
Yeah.
Justin only played roulette.
He knows his game.
How'd he do?
He did all right, but Nate just walked over and just started dominating in a way. He went on a tear that I've never seen before.
Gambling movie that is really underrated.
Rounders?
Rounders is
I
not
think
just
that's the best.
the
poker
best movie. It's not the best gambling movie. It's the best movie. It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But everybody knows Rounders. This guy,
21 with Kevin Spacey.
great book.
Yeah,
great
I was going to
movie.
mention that.
Yeah, great book, great movie. Who's the guy that was in Elizabethtown?
I don't even know.
I've been to Elizabethtown.
It's a movie. It's
Kentucky?
a movie star. Yeah. Sorry, man. You guys got Robert Duvall was in this movie.
Okay. Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom and Robert Duvall.
I gotta hit this bathroom real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Look, Orlando Bloom, Robert Duvall,
Yeah.
gambling movie.
Okay. Robert Duvall. They were
Yeah.
in a movie called golly, dude. This search engine stinks.
Come on, gambling movie.
Stinks, dude.
Why do you use that?
Because it's the built-in browser with it's the built-in
got
search
some-
engine
it's- I
with the
think the word
browser I
lucky
use.
is in
and
the
it
title.
stinks. Yeah.
Lucky 7.
Look, I think
Lucky You. It's
Uh,
called Lucky You.
It is.
Isn't? Is this it?
No, that isn't it. Oh yeah, is that it?
Eric
No.
Eric Bana.
Drew Barrymore.
Robert Duvall.
Yes, I think that's it.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think
Lucky You.
If it's it's a great movie. man.
2007. it
I
came
love that
out.
movie, man. That's a good
Okay.
movie. Yeah.
I've never
And,
even heard of this.
You know, Bana, from what I heard, Bana's from Australia, and I think Bana was a stand-up comic at one time.
Really?
Yeah, broke in as a stand-up comic.
That's
Really?
crazy. This movie lost about $47 million.
And I like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I like it.
But it's like, can you imagine if you lost? Do you think anyone lost their job if you make a movie that loses 47 million? I don't know
Yeah.
how this works.
Yeah, yeah.
You think people do lose their job? When
I
that
would
happens?
imagine.
Yeah,
Bit of a gamble making a movie.
it can
Yeah,
be. It
yeah,
can be.
Yeah.
Because right back in hot.
Yeah,
man, that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Thought of that in there.
Yeah.
Got a
But
I don't
breath.
think he had to go to the bathroom. I
It
think he
was-
needed to clear his head.
I got it.
Yeah.
My
A
next
sausage.
one, yeah.
Get back in the game, Dusty. Get back in the game.
Yeah. Gambling movies are great though.
But you don't like gambling.
No, but I like I like gambling movies though. I
Mhm.
like Tombstone I just watched. I mean, not necessarily a gambling movie, but
There's some card playing.
yeah, a lot of gambling going on.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that movie.
I don't know if you heard Lucky You. Check that out, man.
Okay, Lucky You.
Yeah, it's Robert Duvall and Eric Bana. And
Love Robert Duvall.
it's a good movie.
Drew
Okay.
Barrymore too.
Drew Barrymore. It's,
Okay.
I'm
A
telling
little
you, man.
kicker.
Yeah.
Drew
Okay.
Barrymore
Lost a lot of money, but I don't know why.
yeah.
lost
Wow.
47 million.
Wow.
But, you know.
Yeah.
we've all
What
been there.
about Casino?
Great movie.
Yeah, good. Although, some movies are like too graphically violent for
Yes,
me. And
me
I
too,
think
man.
that's kind of what that is. But I like it. Goodfellas and Casino are both very good movies, but a little too much for me.
And both good movies. And it's like everything's so fun and they're all doing great. And then you can just see we're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Ah, man, you guys are making some poor decisions.
Yeah.
and then it gets real bad, and I'm like, I don't necessarily love that part of the movie.
What I always
Mhm.
hated about Goodfellas is that the whole crew is like, don't get involved with drugs. We're just
Yeah.
trying to look out for you. And then he does.
He did,
And then when he gets busted, he rats them all out.
yeah.
He gets to go to witness protection. They all go to prison. And I hate that. I want them to just end it differently.
Yeah, but that was a true story, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I'd like him to,
Goodfellas, Henry Hill.
I'd
Yeah.
like him to end it differently though. Just give me an alternate ending.
Yeah,
And then the same for the movie Blow with Johnny Depp. That
Oh,
movie, it ends so sad that,
awful.
that I can't even enjoy. I can't rewatch the movie.
It's heartbreaking
Yeah.
at the end.
Especially now that I have kids, I think it would just,
It would kill you.
yeah,
Mhm.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and he's
I can't even remember it.
and the thing is, you're rooting for a drug dealer the
I
whole
know.
time. You're like,
I know.
"Ah, this,
You're just like, oh, this was just the last bust. This is the last
oh, you
deal.
one more time.
And he was about to go straight,
And
man.
who sold him down there? Was it Pee Wee Herman? that
Yeah,
sold
Pee
him
Wee
down-
Herman,
Pee Wee
yeah, I think
Herman
so.
sold him down the
Wow.
river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest his soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dusty, tell us about AG1.
Yeah. It's important for me that the supplements I take are of the highest quality, and that's why for the past 2 years, I've been drinking AG1. Unlike many supplement brands, AG1 is researched and developed by an in-house team of scientists, doctors, and nutritionists with decades of experience in their respective fields. So many people have asked me if AG1 is actually the real deal, and trust me, there's a reason why I've been drinking it for so long. Quality for AG1 isn't just a buzzword. It's a commitment backed by expert-led scientific research, high-quality ingredients, industry-leading manufacturing, and rigorous testing. At each step of this process, AG1 goes above and beyond industry standards. I know I can trust what's in every scoop of AG1 because AG1 is NSF certified for sport, one of the most rigorous independent quality and safety certification programs in the supplement industry.
Wow.
Taking care of my health shouldn't be complicated, and AG1 simplifies this by making it so there aren't a million different pills and capsules to keep track of. Just one scoop of AG1 mixed in water every day. AG1's ingredients are heavily researched for efficacy and quality. I love that every scoop also includes prebiotics, probiotics, and digestive enzymes for gut support.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry, I get fired up.
Are you kidding me?
I've partnered with AG1 for so long because they make such a high quality product that I genuinely look forward to drinking every day. So if you want to replace your multivitamin and more, start with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first subscription at drinkag1.com/Nate. That's drinkag1.com/Nate. Check it out.
Are you kidding me? I mean, this guy just might have knocked you off the top of it. That was strong. It was like he was throwing a no-hitter the whole time, and you're like, don't mess it up.
That was passion, wasn't it?
It was like a perfect game, and I'm like, he may just land this thing.
I don't even know what happened to me there. I felt like I was delivering a sermon.
It was like Aaron. I mean, the slick and the smoothest Aaron, but it felt like it was your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was like angels in the outfield situation. Somebody carried you through that.
It was, man. That was a lot came together on that one.
Yeah.
Man.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some
Danny Glover.
do's and don'ts at the casino.
No.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
I'll tell you one of my favorite casino stories.
All right.
I was
love that. He's really like, no, I don't want to talk about that.
Well, I hope this is. I thought we covered it.
No. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, we were gambling, playing some blackjack. I was a feature act. There was a club called Joey's in the Detroit area. Just
get to the nuts and bolts.
Okay. All right. Anyways, we're at the casino. We're at the casino in Detroit.
Sorry, I lost interest.
It's me and the man. This is tough. I'm going to stay in the pocket like Dusty did on that ad read.
There you go.
Go ahead, do whatever you want. They try to throw me off my game. So we're sitting there as me and the headliner, Mark Britton, and we're sitting there and we're playing blackjack. And there's this other guy down at the other end of the table. Doesn't say one word to us. I mean, we're playing for a good hour. He doesn't say one. Barely even looks at us the whole time. Okay. And Britton gets all excited because he's winning. All right. He's kind of an emotional guy. And he goes, I'm up $500. I'm up $500, man. I'm going to call my girlfriend. And the guy down the table goes, don't tell that woman nothing. That's your money.
I love that.
Hadn't said a word.
Hadn't said a word. Real gambler stuff. That's why King Roger should have been spouting.
He said, that's your money.
Because that guy had made that mistake before, right? Yeah.
He's seen it.
And he's going to lose it now anyway.
Young man. That's your money.
The first time I ever really went to a gambling thing. And in Alabama, gambling's illegal, but somehow in shorter Alabama, there's the dog track called Victoryland.
Mhm.
Okay.
And it's legal. It's been, I don't know, grandfathered in some way. So it's legal to go bet on dogs.
Yeah.
So me and my buddies, we were like 21 and we were finally able to get in and we wanted to go. And I had it pictured like what's the horse racing?
Kentucky Derby.
I thought that's what it was going to be.
Seersucker suit.
Yeah.
Big hats.
Yeah, this is the
and-
Alabama Derby.
Yeah, I thought this is going to be
dog racing.
and I get in there and I'm like, whoa, this feels unsafe. You know, this is
unsavory.
not. I thought we were going to pick up some
Yeah.
women.
You're like,
at
I
the-
just
No,
want to get
you're
a
not.
mint julep.
Yeah.
And you're like, you can get a Coors Light if
Yeah.
you're lucky.
And so that's what we did. We just kind of drank. And me and one of my buddies, we just were like, yeah, we'll bet on a dog. You know, we don't know what to do.
Mhm.
And then there was this guy there named Butch, and he had like suspenders, missing some teeth.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, I'll help you. So my friend, he helped my friend. He was like, pick this one to do this
Do
one
a
to do this one.
trifecta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so
superfecta.
So my
Yeah.
friend was like, all right, yeah, I'll do it. And we were like, and I just remember really being interested in Butch, but I was like, I'm not messing with this guy. And my friend won pretty big.
Yeah.
Like Butch knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he did.
And then, you know, Butch is like, well, now I want my cut.
Oh,
you know?
Butch wanted to.
Yeah, like
Man,
10%.
I knew there was going to be
I knew
something
there was
in this
a
for
catch.
Yeah,
Butch.
but it's like,
Yeah.
you know, me and my friend lost. We won nothing. My other buddy won big. So he gave Butch 10%. And then we, you know, felt scared in the parking lot and then
Right.
made our friend buy us Waffle House.
Let me ask you this: did Butch mention that 10% up front?
I don't believe so.
Yeah,
Of course not.
And I think I think Butch lived in a hotel
Okay.
and just worked the Victoryland every day.
I'm going to say it was a motel.
Yeah, I would bet a motel.
Yeah.
I went to the dog track once and I didn't know what to do. I was like, what do I do here? And a dog, they're walking them out to the box, I guess.
Yeah.
And one of the dogs pooped on the track.
Yeah, that supposedly means he's going to have a good race.
Yeah, a guy said, bet on that dog. He's lighter. You know, he feels lighter. And I did. And he finished like next to last.
Yeah, it's like the other dogs were just pooping in the
Yeah.
stall. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So I get very intimidated when I go to a casino because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm afraid I'm going to mess something up.
Come with me, man. I'll show you around.
I know this weekend. I mean, the most intimidating game of all to me is craps.
It is an
Mhm.
intimidating game with a lot of ins and outs.
And I wasn't there for the beginning when you were giving people the rules. So the whole time I'm on that table, I have no idea what's going on. I just do whatever you do. And you would be like, double down on something.
Back up your bet.
Back up your bet. I have
You
no
bet
idea.
you bet the pass line. And then once you establish a point, you can double that behind it. And that's the best odds in the entire casino is backing up your bet on the pass line. Best
I
odds.
still don't know what that means, but I would just ask, what's the number? And you'd be like, Bates, you don't say the number.
Oh yeah, Bates. Yeah, Bates just throwing around. He's like, what about 7? Don't say 7.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that you do not want to say at this table.
That's right.
is
All
the
these
word
superstitions.
7. Don't
Yeah.
say 7.
Yeah, don't ever
It's
say
the only thing you really can't say. Now, before they establish the point, if you hit the 7 or the 11, it pays.
Right.
Novicki hit about 6 in a row.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was nuts,
Man,
man.
it was crazy.
It was unbelievable.
And him shaking up the dice and
Oh yeah,
throwing
which
it.
completely they would not let happen in Vegas.
Oh, really? I don't
You
let you.
can't grab the dice with 2 hands. I mean,
Wow.
because we were playing
Ah.
with fake money, there was some, you
Why? Because they think you might slip something
yes,
in.
yeah, you grab it with one hand, and that same hand is the one you toss it with. Yeah,
Use 2 hands there.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
So you could shake it up though with one hand.
Sure, man.
Sure.
A lot of people think if you get a pretty girl to blow on the dice,
Mhm.
that helps you. You guys are jerks. Like if you get a pretty girl to blow on the dice,
There you go.
that you guys are jerks. I mean, that's just you need to grow up, both of you. It's sophomoric.
It is.
I played
It is.
for it.
It is.
You guys need to grow up.
I don't even know what you are talking about.
I played blackjack recently, and the dealer said, don't touch them with both hands, the cards. You can only hold the cards with one hand.
I think you might have been playing single deck blackjack or something like. Yeah, there is. I've heard that, and that, yeah. In fact, somebody was doing that the other night too.
You know what's an interesting thing about casinos is I was like you, Brian. You're a little intimidated. You're in this world where there's so much going on, and it's just
And there's
noises
money
and lights,
involved.
and there's real money involved. What surprised me, the first time you sit down at a blackjack table, specifically, they will kind of talk you through what to do.
They'll tell you what to do.
The blackjack is rigged in such a way that even if they tell you the smartest move to do in every hand, which they will if you ask them, they're still going to end up winning in the long run.
How do you think it's rigged?
It's not rigged. It's just the game is designed in such a way that the odds are
the casino
house always wins.
I think when that backing up your bet on the craps or the pass line, you got like the house only has like a 1% or a 3% advantage. And some of these other games, they have a higher advantage.
Okay.
Blackjack, I will tell you. They'll tell you. In craps, they'll tell you what to do.
There was a movie like Brewster Baker or something like that, a Burt Reynolds gambling movie where he was playing craps. And it was like the big, like he had won so much money. And I think he like backed up his bet or
Let
something.
it ride.
And it was like he would have like came out like a millionaire.
I got to see this.
It's a very good movie.
Brewster's Millions?
Yeah. Do you know?
Richard
Do you know
Pryor.
Burt Reynolds gambling movie?
If it's Burt Reynolds is gambling, I'm in.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, the Burt Reynolds gambling movie is Heat.
Yeah, that's close.
You got to get rid of this search engine. This is terrible.
Yeah, this is terrible. Mississippi Grind.
Mississippi Grind is a gambling movie. I didn't know. Burt
I don't
Reynolds.
think that's the name of it.
Deal.
Look up Burt Reynolds Brewster, maybe.
Deal in 2008. This is the movie you're
must
talking
be
about?
No, it's an older movie.
Okay.
How many gambling movies is Burt Reynolds in?
Apparently a few.
Well, you've done a lot of race car movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's 37.
Stroke a race.
Yeah.
Another great Charlie Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, all 9 of the Smokey and the Bandit movies.
Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Eastbound and Down.
That's Smoking. That's
Smoking the Bandit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Reed has a gambling song.
Yeah.
Does he? That's not Eastbound and Down?
No, it's a very golly, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on it. Sometimes you're hot and sometimes you're not, or it's just
yeah.
What's it? I forgot the name of it. I think it's just
Man, you guys, this is good. I got a lot
When
to
you're
check
hot,
out.
you're hot. I think that's
when you're hot,
you're hot. Yeah.
when you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
In blackjack though, I will tell you guys, like, the one thing, my brother's a big time blackjack player, plays a lot. You don't want to sit there and bet the same thing. Is that me? I'm sorry. That's really unprofessional.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Dude.
I'm begging you guys to let me stay for and I'm going to say right now, if you tell me to get up and walk out, that's the right thing to do. But
Well, if Nate were here, then but we're not gonna.
Yeah.
We don't enforce those kind of rules.
That's
like that.
right.
Nate would have shot me.
Yeah, Nate would. Nate doesn't play that.
Under the table.
Yeah.
Oh man.
2 for
Greg.
2 now.
Falling off the Vanderbilt.
We're gonna edit out the last 90 seconds
Yeah,
here
for
and
the-
save you face a little bit.
Yeah, thanks.
Mhm.
But when you're playing blackjack, you can't just sit there and bet the same amount all
No.
session long because
No.
there's, and I don't understand why. But if you're betting $10 a hand, eventually they're going to grind you down.
Mhm.
If you're betting $10 a hand, every now and then you got to step up and bet $100 on
Right.
one hit. Like you
Yeah,
got to go
yeah.
crazy every now and it gets you going.
And that's
but
what's exciting.
yeah, you got it, but you have to vary the bet. And if you get, and one of the ways that you can vary the bet is when you have a chance to split the cards or double down, you do it. But even then, even just that, the other way my brother says that you can vary the bet is if you push, double the push. So if you're betting 20, that next hand you bet 40.
Wow.
I don't know if there's any logic to that, but every now and then you got to go crazy with a bet.
I just watched the movie Swingers the other night, and
That's great.
It's really funny. Like they're going to the casino. He's like, I got $400, but I don't want to spend all of this.
Yeah.
And then they take 200 to the blackjack table, and like they order a drink. They lose at the blackjack table before the drink even comes back.
Because he told him to double down.
Yeah. He's like, you always double down on, I don't know, on whatever.
Yeah. And all those rules, you're still gambling.
Sure.
You know, like if I don't know who I was with, but like based on blackjack, everything that you don't see, you count it as a 10. Okay. So if the dealer's showing 6, that means he's probably got 16. And his next card is probably going to be 10 and he's got 26, so he's going to bust.
Yes.
So don't take a card unless if you don't take a card if it's a decision because he's going to bust probably. Now that there's a decent chance he won't, but there's a better chance that he will.
Yes. And the dealer will kind of, if you go, should I hit here? And they go, well, the book says you do.
Yeah.
And they just go like, if you're playing it where you want to do statistically your best move, this is what you would do right here. And they'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I do know that, but it's still intimidating when there's other people at the table you don't know. And
you know what?
They're also, if they're in a different financial situation than you too, that's
Who cares,
where it can
man?
get.
That's my brother is big on that, man.
Yeah.
Like those people at that table, when they started, well, you shouldn't have done that. I guess this is my money and I will do whatever I want.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm already in here wasting it. Okay.
Yeah. My
I
brother,
shouldn't have came in here.
the book says, my brother's, well, I know what the book says. I know what the book says better than you know what the book
And
says.
I don't even like reading.
Yeah,
How about the book in here?
Yeah, and I still am deciding on this hunch, I'm going against the book. So shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking to me. I'm trying to bet here. I'm a gambler.
There's a story about Kevin Brennan. You guys know the comic Kevin Brennan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly how it went, but apparently he was sat down at the blackjack table, and there was a lot of Asian people at the blackjack table, and I think they were speaking Chinese. Okay, and Brennan was getting annoyed with it because like they're talking about him or talking about what's going on. So Brennan said, "I put a curse on the cards." He said he put a curse on the cards, and the people at the table they were like, no. They got really upset that Brennan put a curse on the cards, and so they were telling the dealer he's got to take the curse off the cards. And Brennan said something effective like, I don't know how to take curse off. I only know how to put it on.
You just get up and leave at that point.
Yeah.
I think that would work on Dusty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't gamble, but I was just at a casino. What blows my mind is the slot machines. I don't I one time I was at a casino, I put $20. I was just like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm going to do $20 and I'm just going to play the slot machine. My money was not even gone yet before I was like, just run the money out. I was so bored with this.
Yeah.
That's why we got to play some cards, man.
Oh yeah, I was so bored with this button pushing.
Let's go play some cards.
That I just don't understand how this is what people do. People will they travel to casinos to just play the slots.
Right.
Yeah. I don't love slots.
Worst odds I read. Slot machines.
Yeah, video poker's real addictive. Yeah.
But it's mainly luck, right?
It is. Video poker's there's a little skill in it.
Yeah.
There's some skill in video poker.
But I mean, just pushing that button and the thing's just turning. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking for. One time I won. I did this twice. First time I put in 20, and then I went through it and I won $20. I think this was with you.
Yeah.
In Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Sure.
And
It's way up there.
So I won $20. So I cashed out. And then the next casino we were at, I did it again and I lost it.
Lost it all real quick.
I mean, play some cards, I think.
I'm afraid that I got some
because
addictive-
you have an addictive personality.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why I never did drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll probably wind up doing a lot of them. But I will say there's this game called Buffalo Hunters or Buffalo
Duck Hunter.
No, I think that's I don't think that's.
I'm really good at that.
I'm pretty sure that's not a gambling. It's not a casino game.
Not the way I played.
Yeah,
dude.
you played it wrong, Greg.
I get after it.
Yeah. Imagine this. Imagine that. The guy with the orange hat and the camo.
Yeah.
This is your old product, dude. I'm repping an old Greg Warren
appreciate that.
product,
Yeah,
the Sunny D hat.
Yeah, Sunny's a great product. man.
Sunny D.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my orange juice
Sold a
growing
lot
up.
of it.
Made mimosas.
I
with
drank a lot of Sunny Day.
Yeah.
Did you?
As a kid,
Yeah. California style or Florida citrus punch?
Probably Florida citrus.
Yeah,
I would
Florida
think.
citrus is the regular.
We always
What was that
supported
Winn-Dixie?
more southern
Yeah.
things.
we had both. We probably had
Winn-Dixie, yeah, for sure.
Winn-Dixie. I bet you we had
Bruno's.
At one point we had Bruno's good supermarket.
That's a good store.
I like the Harris Teeter.
Harris Teeter's real nice.
Yeah,
like upscale.
Yeah.
Harris Teeter's
Old money.
Yeah, real nice.
Yeah.
But
You
I mean, we
shopped
probably
at
had
Harris Teeter growing up.
In Charleston. No.
Oh, I was going to say at
20s.
Opelika. I was
what
like,
in
you
the
didn't have
world?
a Harris
No,
Teeter.
no.
Piggly Wiggly or something.
Piggly Wiggly and
Yeah,
Winn-Dixie.
Dollar General.
Winn-Dixie. I bet you we had 17, 18 SKUs in there of Sunny
Wow.
Delight. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. At one point.
Yeah, we
Save a lot?
love.
Do you ever do Save a Lot?
No.
Do you know that?
I do know it.
That'll save a lot. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about traveling the country is the grocery stores are different.
It's one of the last
I know.
independent. It's awesome, isn't
Cross section of America.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We don't have Bruno's here.
it? I don't think Bruno's is.
I haven't seen
left.
Bruno's in a while.
It never existed here.
I almost got the Bruno's account at one point. They were going to send me. I think were they out of New Orleans maybe? Or, They were going to send me. They were going to give me the Bruno's.
There used to, Stardome. There used to be, I think it was a Bruno's right there close to the club.
Oh, really?
And when first time I ever went on the road with Henry Cho, he's like, I got to run over here to this Bruno's. You can go with me. I got to get some things. And we went over there. He got shampoo. And I said, why don't you just use the shampoo in the hotel? He's like, I ain't using that hotel shampoo on this hair.
I mean, he does have a real.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good looking head.
I'm
of
like,
hair.
maybe that's why
Yeah.
he's using Kroger brand shampoo.
Yeah.
Bruno's used to own Piggly Wiggly.
No,
Yeah.
really.
During the company's pinnacle, it operated over 300 stores under the name Bruno's, Food World, Food Max, Food Fair, Fresh Value, Piggly Wiggly.
I remember Food Max.
Yeah. I remember there's a Winn-Dixie by my house in Montgomery, and that was the go-to spot. And I remember the day that a Publix opened across the street, and it was just countdown to
Put 'em under,
Winn-Dixie's
didn't they?
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had good spirits about it at first. I remember asking them, "Are you guys worried?" And they go, "No, we've got a loyal customer base here. People have been shopping here for years, and it's just,
Could you see the cracks in what they were saying?
Oh man, I could see it in their faces.
Yeah.
I thought they know it's over, dude.
It's over.
There's just fewer and fewer cars in the parking lot. And then I remember we moved to Tennessee, and I thought, how's that Winn-Dixie doing? And I looked it up on Google Maps, and it was not there anymore. And I thought, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I mean, and there's still some Winn-Dixies down in some markets.
Opelika still got one.
Yeah.
Really?
Near my
But
mom's house. Yeah.
They're no match for a Publix.
No, it is true.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I go to that Winn-Dixie in Opelika, I'm like, shit, you got none of the things I normally get.
It stinks in here.
Yeah.
You know what is going to stick around? Helix.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Okay.
We got to get in somehow.
That was smooth, man. I didn't even know what you were doing.
Yeah.
I was
All
like,
right.
what grocery store is Helix?
I love my Helix sleep mattress and pillows. What is great is you get to take a Helix sleep quiz and get matched with the perfect mattress for you. I have a Helix mattress, and it just gets better every night. Not only is it the best mattress I have slept on, but the setup was fast and easy. Helix mattresses are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. I like Helix mattress. I do like it. I wanted to make that dramatic, and I was trying to really bring you guys into it.
It worked.
You did.
But
I don't comment on
But
it.
I like a Helix mattress. I'm a big fan. I have a Helix mattress, and the Helix pillows are top notch. I sleep on I have several Helix pillows. I keep them. I got one in my daughter's room. I got one in the guest bedroom. I got one in my personal bedroom. That way I can sleep on one wherever I go, and I don't have to move it around.
Are they varying softness or just one level of softness?
Someone asked me which Helix pillow I have,
So
and I
there's
said,
several.
I don't know.
Mhm.
Got the
And
good
then
one.
and then I looked on the tag for some type of indicator of what it is, and it's not there. But the Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. They even have a Helix Kids mattress designed growing body, I guess designed for growing bodies. That 4 is not written in here, but designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep experts. How do you know which mattress is best for you? Just take the Helix sleep quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. They have a 100. I don't know that this is written well, so I'm gonna have to.
No, we don't know.
Well, it says
tell us.
it says on top of that. I guess that's on top of that. On top of that, they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty. Don't believe me? Well, Helix has over 12,000 5-star reviews. I just want everyone to know Helix did not write this.
Of course.
This
Well,
is
hey,
written.
man.
Bates wrote it.
I
Bates
think
wrote
you
it.
did a great job, but
Yeah.
there's no need to.
I just want I want everyone to know that
We're too
Helix.
transparent, is what you're saying.
Look,
I'm
Helix-
just saying you don't throw the copywriter under the
Yeah,
bus.
that's
I
true,
mean,
but this
I
is
think you're
it.
taking shots at Abigail.
You still think he's better than me?
This
Greg?
is it. Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate. That is helixsleep.com/Nate. This is their best offer yet, and
Yes.
it will not last long.
Nope.
With Helix, Better sleep starts now.
It's a great salesman. It was, and you maybe want to take a look at the product. You maybe want to buy it.
Yeah.
But it was some of the tactics that came out that you know when you were selling
Right.
it.
It's true.
Because it was,
Dirtball tactics.
it was a little dishonorable.
His character started this.
Aaron would
He
have
did.
covered for whoever was
That's right.
writing it.
That's
Aaron,
right.
Aaron would have been like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up." He would not have just been like, "Hey, I didn't. It's in me. It's not my fault."
You're right about
Yeah.
that.
A real
You're right
leader,
about that.
when things are bad, a real leader steps forward, right?
Yeah.
And when things are good, they step back and let other people enjoy
You're right.
it, right?
I
That
threw
was a
Abigail
moment.
under the bus
That was a
too.
moment where you needed to step up. And
This is a real learning moment for me.
I agree.
and
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want to.
I mean, I
want
hope it is.
I want to apologize to everybody.
What about me?
You too.
Yeah.
I
You
think of,
especially.
I think of you as a person. So when I say everybody, I do include you in there.
That's got to feel good.
You know what? It does feel good.
Yeah, man, and I think you have grown. I don't think
Yeah.
you're that same dirtball back there pushing
No.
other people's
I don't
products
think
to the
so.
back.
You know, and to be fair, whoever wrote this, they counted on me to be able to cover if they had
That's
a
right.
few typos. in
That's
there.
right.
Yeah, I'd
And-
like to think if they were reading your copy, they would not have said anything about it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it would have been a lot of trouble for them to read. I bet.
I bet.
Well, I don't want to end on a Helix mattress ad. So can we? Could you pull up that casino etiquette do's and don'ts?
Yeah,
And I
let's
just want to
get
get Greg's
into it.
opinion on
Yeah.
a couple of these.
I need
things.
you to
Did you
vamp
write
for probably
this?
5 seconds, though.
Who wrote this?
I looked at one before we get to that.
Yeah.
Is it all right if I interject?
Was this
Yeah, go ahead.
Was this written by John Reap?
AI.
You know, he had the
yeah.
fan etiquette.
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh,
That's
he
true.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a whole episode.
Oh, I gotta check
on
that
sports
one.
fans.
Oh, I gotta
But-
check that out. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'm a big John Reap fan.
Yeah, it's
Very
a good
funny
one.
guy.
Mhm.
Great actor too, man.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
he is
good.
good.
actor.
He is good.
So I was just reading something about casinos, and it said that before there was gambling, before there was currency, before there was money, there was
Wow.
Wow.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So some guy was like, "Man, how'd it go last night?" Oh man, I lost like 7 chickens. And,
Oh, wow.
Like they were bartering stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
another gambling movie not a gambling movie, but it has gambling's a big thing. Legend of the Falls. Remember that with Brad Pitt? And
Yeah.
he had a real gambling issue in that movie.
Oh,
And
yeah,
this was
man.
real old school gambling. They had currency, but it's still real old
Yeah,
school.
yeah. Up there
Now-
in Montana.
Yeah.
You're getting it, you get mixed up. It's River Runs Through It.
River runs through it. Great movie.
Yeah.
They are both great, and they're both Brad Pitt, and they both have,
Both in Montana, I think.
yeah.
You think it was River Runs Through It where he had the gambling problem, or was it Legend of the Fall?
I thought it was.
It's
Legend
the
of
one where he
Falls.
goes, "What's in the box?" Right? Isn't that it?
Yeah, probably so.
That was it.
The
That's
one where
seven.
his dad
I know
had
you
the yeah, okay.
No one
I'm
else
not
got
sure
it.
you're right on this, man.
I am right, Greg.
His
I'm always
dad-
right.
His
Okay.
dad had the stroke, and his dad
That's
was
Yeah,
Legends
the
of the Fall.
stroke, and his wife's a secret agent like him.
and his,
It's Mr. and Miss Smith.
and
I
he's,
think
ta-
that's
he's
Mr.
talking
and
to
Mrs.
himself the whole
Oh,
time. It's not.
all right.
It's not two people.
No,
it's him
that's
the whole
that's
time.
Fight Club, I think.
And he's talking, and he said, "We're killing Nazis." That's
Yeah.
the one.
And then he's
Man.
like, he's like got a lot of tattoos, and he's a really good fighter, even though
Oh, he was a
Yeah.
piker, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That is right.
True Romance, I think, was when he was
Yeah.
the stoner.
Yeah.
Remember? That was
Yeah.
Well, Ocean's 11, the ultimate casino movie that he was in.
Oh,
Was that about a
Oh,
casino?
yeah.
I thought it was like a
Actually, Ocean's 13 is my favorite. I think
with the girls.
Shut up.
that's Ocean's 8. That's actually that is better.
Okay.
I forgot.
Then
about
Ocean's
that one.
13.
I forgot
Yeah.
what. Oh, 13, they go back to casino and then destroy it.
Yeah.
13. I think that one is
Al Pacino.
Yeah, and yeah, he
I'm a
comes back
big,
as Scarface.
I like Billy Ocean actually quite a bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Caribbean Queen.
yeah.
Get out of my dreams, get into
Very
my car.
good song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
Blue
about
Crush? about the
It's about the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of the dangers within the
yeah,
ocean.
Yeah, a lot goes on there.
Yeah.
It's not a gambling movie, but there's a big scene in it in Rain Man where he counts cards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say it's a gambling movie.
Big
You would?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The great scene with him in the that like there's like
they're
cinematic when they're
come down
going
the
up
elevator?
yeah. And
The
when they're like
escalator?
dressed up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that possible to count cards like that?
I think it is definitely possible. And it's not illegal, but they will throw you out for it.
Yeah.
And it's not as difficult I mean, I couldn't do it, but it's not as difficult as you might think. You don't have to be Rain Man to be able to do it.
Right. You can be
just
Kevin Spacey.
Pretty smart to do it. Yeah. Spacey was the one that taught.
21, right?
But I imagine he did it a little bit.
Sure, a real story. That's a true story.
Great. Who was the guy though? The young
Kevin
actor?
Spacey. We just covered that.
You're right. Should have been listening.
Same guy was also a space alien. I don't know if you knew that. K-Pax?
Miles,
see that?
Miles Teller?
Did not care for that movie.
You didn't like K-Pax?
It looks like
never got the point of it. And maybe I was just too young. I did not like that movie. I
Did
felt
you guys see K-Pax?
No, I never heard
kept
of this.
wondering when it was gonna.
Is it a cereal? What is it?
It's Kevin Spacey as an alien.
It's a rapper.
Well, you don't know if he's an alien or not.
You get pretty much toward the end that he's just
weird
schizophrenic.
I think he was an alien though.
Seems like a good movie then. All right.
It's not. It's not.
I think it is.
It's not a good movie. I just told you a good movie. Lucky whatever. Go see that.
Lucky whatever. Look up Lucky whatever.
I don't know that K-Pax lost 47 million though.
Yeah.
Maybe lost 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll do a couple.
Lost
of
my
these.
interest about 10 minutes in.
Don't have your cell phone out.
Yeah, this is good podcast etiquette too, Greg.
I'm sorry, guys. There's no excuse for what no excuse.
I saw this
Unforgivable.
firsthand a few weeks ago. I was with Nate, and we went to casino after the show. There was a UFC fight that he wanted to watch.
Mhm.
So we're at the table. He's watching on his phone. New dealer comes over and says, "Sir, you can't have."
That's not. Yeah, it's not etiquette. But you can't. That's rules because they think you're cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Nate got up and left. He wanted to watch the UFC fight.
Yeah, he should know better. You can't. You can't. And Nate gambles.
That's
a little bit.
embarrassing,
Not a
Nate.
ton, but
Very embarrassing.
He'll
Very
play a little bit of
embarrassing.
cards.
Yeah.
He should know better.
And
Yeah.
you go,
That's
Nate,
why he's not here this week. I
Nate,
think just
yeah.
sheer embarrassment of that moment.
Yeah.
you go, Nate, you're not the king of everywhere you go, dude. There's still rules in the casino.
Yeah.
You can't push this
That
dealer
guy
around like he's
had
Brian.
it out for Nate. I think that security guard did an open mic with Nate back in the day.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably right.
I mean, I was maybe did an open mic with you guys because you had some real negative things to say about some specific open mic people earlier.
No, stop. That's just good fun. I'm reading through some of these
I've
etiquette
always
rules.
got something
I'll tell you
to
one I learned the hard way at the St. Louis the casino. Your instinct is to touch the cards, and I touched my cards, and she goes, "We ain't at home, baby."
Whoa.
I don't
And
understand. Why can you not touch him?
When you're playing blackjack, you can't touch your cards at all. You don't touch it.
Yes,
Well-
you can.
What are you talking about?
Yes, you can.
How do
Were
you
you
flip
sure
it?
were you playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em?
No, I was
blackjack?
playing blackjack.
You can. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe you're right.
I don't like a dealer that gives you that kind of attitude.
Texas
about it.
Hold'em, you could.
I want you to
have
tell me
look
not
at
to
it.
It
touch
was
the cards, but don't say we ain't at home. You don't know where I live.
I thought. Yeah.
I should have snapped back. Hey, you don't know where I live. She goes, "Go ahead and get out of here." You're like, "All right."
I think I should have been like, you know what? This guy's pretty good. If you're playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em, which is my favorite casino game, you're all playing Texas Hold'em against a dealer. You're not playing against each other. It's an awesome game. It's a sucker game, but it's it's real fun.
Right.
But they'll deal your cards, and she has to say when you can look at your cards.
Okay.
So that reminds me of something like we ain't at home. Like I would, yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
And then she'll be like, okay.
Yeah. Casino night with Nate, everything's a little more lax.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Everything's fair. You
yeah.
can pretty much do whatever.
Yeah, there were. Vicky's. Yeah. I mean, two-handed
Dude,
dice
the
throwing.
craps dealer, I don't know if you saw, he got a little overwhelmed at one point.
He did?
There were so many people around the
He did.
table. There's so many things to keep track of if you're running the craps table. You got to know where everybody's bets are. At one point, there's like 30 people around the table.
He broke.
And somebody tries to like buy in. And he goes, "Okay, everybody has to keep track of their own stuff now.
He did.
I'm at capacity."
He did.
Wow.
He did, man. We broke
And I
him.
felt so
Wow.
bad. I
We
felt
broke
bad
him.
for him. It was so much. And then once it died down, he cooled down a little bit.
No,
But
he was a
could-
good guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy. He just got overwhelmed. I get it.
I mean, and
I
he was
get it,
also
man.
telling us that it was in his blood. Like his dad was a craps dealer or something.
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't know if his dad taught him that. Like,
Blood is blood.
yeah, like he broke. He said, you
Yeah.
guys got to keep track of your own stuff.
He broke.
Which
Whenever
at a
you
real
s-
casino, you'd have been like, okay, I'll keep track of my own stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I won on that one.
Whenever you say
That's what
something,
Greg said when he said that. In
you
the
say
moment.
something like that, I'm in my blood. It's in my blood. It's not going to go well.
Yeah.
You got too
Yeah.
cocky.
Anytime I've ever gone out a little bit over my skis, life really slaps me back down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like I'm up here criticizing ad reads, and then my phone goes off, and I look like the jerk.
Yeah. I know.
We want to wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up. Where's everybody going to be this weekend?
Well, you know what? I'm off for a little while. I'm going to do this weekend. I'm off. I could be working, but I did take the time off. Next weekend, though, 12th, 13th, and 14th, I'm doing 3 nights at the Opry.
Nice.
And I just want to say, because this is a casino episode, I'm going to be in, this is way down the road, but tickets are available. The rodeo is going to be in Las Vegas. They're having a big rodeo, and I'm doing a show at...
No way.
Well, I don't have the place that I'm doing a show, and I forgot where
Vegas.
it is. I'm in Vegas on December 12th at a theater.
That's a huge gig, man.
Yeah, it's really big. I'm really pumped about it. So December 12th, and the tickets are on sale now.
Nice.
So I'll be in Vegas.
Pure country.
Yeah. During the rodeo.
Wasn't that where with the Vegas rodeo? With Pure country.
You know what? I'm ashamed to say, even though it's George Strait and the character's name's Dusty, I've never actually watched Pure Country.
It's a great movie.
I'm ashamed to say.
Great soundtrack.
I've listened to the soundtrack many times.
It's a great movie. I'd recommend you do that.
I should
Before
see
the
it.
lucky you. This
Yeah.
one made money. Yeah.
July 27th. I don't think I've ever headlined a show in Knoxville, Tennessee. I've opened for a lot of people in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Alley Ray's Gastropub.
Nice.
Going to do a show there July 27th. So please come to that. Greg, have you done that?
I'm doing it in August.
Oh, okay. Well, come to my show first.
Yeah.
And
Go see Bates.
I've done it. It's great. It's
Is
a great venue. Yeah. The guy, Adam Aaron, runs it.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great. He's
yeah.
awesome.
So that's July 27th, July 30th, 31st. I'm at Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida.
Oh, yeah. I love that club.
Yeah.
I do they have great food.
Yeah.
The guy was very nice to me. I
Yeah.
love the shows.
Yeah.
Is that Captain Brian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very nice to me. He liked my show, and then he called his parents and told his parents that they would like me, and they came and watched me too.
That's cool. That's like the ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And August 1st, I'm going to be at Boca Black Box in Boca Raton.
Oh man,
Florida.
that's like supposedly a great place.
I hope so. I've never been.
Yeah,
but
man, I've heard real good things about that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I expect the same enthusiasm with my gigs I'm about to plug right here. The Aaron Weber No Nonsense Tour continues July 13th, Lake Forest, Illinois, at the Gorton Center.
All right.
Huh?
What's the
Gorton
Gorton
I
Center?
don't know. I've never been, but
The
it's going to
fish?
be. I'm excited. And then here's a big one: St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh,
Hometown of Greg Warren. I was just there with
yeah.
Nate. I plugged my show all weekend. My show at the Helium sold out.
This is impressive.
September 15th, Sunday night, it's sold out. We added a matinee show. We doubled down.
Double down.
Is
I'm
it a
proud,
mistake? Maybe. We'll see. But
No, we're gonna fill that.
we
We're gonna fill that.
added a matinee show September 15th, St. Louis, Missouri, at the Helium Comedy Club. See you there.
I
It's
couldn't be
gonna
more
be
proud of that because
Thank
he
you,
sold
Greg.
it out
Thank you,
quick,
Greg.
man. On a Sunday,
That's really
Yeah.
good.
we're gonna fill that 3:00 show.
That's
Boom.
great.
Yeah.
Way to go.
How about you, Greg?
This weekend I'll be at the Improv in Tempe, Arizona.
Love that club.
Yeah, a
Love
fun
that club.
place. The following weekend, I'm going to Fort Worth and doing a comedy club there, and I can't remember the name.
Hyenas?
No, it's got the word laugh in it.
Oh, I know that. I know
it's
the
a new
people.
club.
They use some. There's a
Big
Austin.
Laugh. I
They're
think
in
Big
Austin,
Laugh.
I think, right?
I think it's Big Laugh.
Oh, okay.
But and I have not been to the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area in a long time, and I'm pretty fired up.
I love it there though.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's great.
one more thing, because I don't get in here very often. I know you guys got a lot of fans in Nashville. I'll be coming back to Zany's in August, and
All
yeah.
I love that night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
You know what night in August?
I believe it's August 21st.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
Wow. All
That's
right.
awesome.
Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about.
I try to keep what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
I have a zany show August 13th.
Well, you
That's
can't
why I
just hop in.
That's why I was wondering if because my July show is already sold out. So if you want to get tickets to
Trying
that,
to piggyback off his
the
plug.
Dusty show?
Yeah.
The
Dusty
I was just wondering if they were close by. I would see if you want to do.
Well, no,
my
I'm
show.
coming in for one of those, man.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it was one of my favorite things. Is the
Yeah,
first
it's
one.
fun.
I'm going to come in just because it's. I need to get to Nashville more often. I'm coming
Yeah.
in for that Dusty show. I know Bates has a show.
If we're going to make a second round, my show
Let me pull
tonight.
up my website real quick.
My show
Yeah.
tonight at Zanies is sold out at the lab at Zanies
Tonight?
at the Wednesday.
when this airs.
When
Yeah.
this airs.
Yeah, I mean,
July
tonight.
3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, tonight.
tonight.
Dusty is not on the show, so if you
Stupid.
just want y'all to know that.
Yeah, I'm not on the show, but I have to go to Alabama.
But August 14th, the night after Dusty's show, I will be at another show at the lab at Zanies. So come to that.
I may do that one.
Maybe Dusty can do that one.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in for a Bates and a Dusty show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe come for that. Do August 13th and 14th.
yeah,
If I'm around, I will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
I'd come for that.
Second round, Aaron.
No, July 18th to 20th, Cincinnati, Ohio.
All right. Here we go.
Commonwealth Sanctuary.
I'm stopping this thing.
Once again, today's episode of the Nateland Podcast was brought to you by BetterHelp, Chime, AG1, and Helix. Thank you very much.
There
We're
it
having a
is.
good time.
God bless.
Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.